Okay, we're live.
Hey, good evening, everyone. How's it going? How's the audio sound? Let's do a quick audio check
Yeah,
before we get
everyone
into this
talk
thing.
and let us know if
Yo,
we're
yo, yo,
balanced.
yo. Hello? Hello? Is everything good?
How's audio sound? Chat. Testing, testing, testing. Good evening, everyone. Oh shit, my room's hella dark. Let me pull something up over here. That seems better. Oh, that's too fucking bright. Okay. Go to like a YouTube page or something. Holy shit, what is going on with my screen right now? Fucking amateur hour.
That's
This
that's
happens every
as
single time.
that's as made as my bed ever
That is a
gets.
staple. This shit is just the beginning's always such a shit show.
Yeah.
Audio sounds good.
Stumbling to
Okay, cool. All right, well, we'll go ahead and get this episode started. Tonight's guest is none other than our boy Max Meth Rosenstock, former Dallas player, now living in Michigan. We'll kind of get into that later. Max, say what's up. Introduce yourself. Yeah, the normal.
hello, hello, hi. This is Max coming live from Detroit right now through your airwaves, I guess.
Hey,
Or I don't
well,
know. Yeah, I know it's fucking radio or whatever, too. Like it pushes live. I don't know if it's going through your airwaves or whatever, but it's me. But yeah.
all right. So before we hop into the interview with Max, we want to kind of just go over some news regarding the Third Strike Open, and then just kind of some recent events that happened at ArtCade. So as a lot of you guys know, there was some flooding that actually took place at ArtCade a couple weeks ago. Um, Damaged some of the cabinets that we have there. Thankfully, the Japanese cabinets are good to go. Those were tested. We actually played on those over the weekend, and they were fine. But some damage was done to the building, as well as some of the American cabinets and some of the equipment there that we have for streaming, audio, and as well as the children's classes there too. Like for you guys that don't know, ArtCade is actually a non-profit. It's actually called Central Arts. So what they do is like basically after school special for kids. Like kids get out of school, they go to Central Arts, they have their art classes, things like that, until their parents can pick them up, when they get off work. So it's actually like a community based thing, and then at night we're just a bunch of fucking degens and play arcade games. But during the day, it's built for like an after school program for children. So a lot of stuff got damaged there. We actually posted up a GoFundMe, which I just want to say thank you to everyone who donated, shared on Twitter, made comments, reached out to me. Several people from several different communities reached out to me, just offering a hand when it came to running the open. Offering to lend boards, cabinets, come down, help move things. Like the outreach that we got from the community regarding the situation was just incredible. Like I really cannot say thank you guys enough, because when this happened, I was so incredibly stressed out. With, is the open going to happen? Are we going to be able to do this? Do I need to look for different venues? And the people that reached out to me and just offered their support and their services, things like that, which is great. So I just can't say thank you enough to our community. And honestly, it's just fucking amazing, man, seeing what we can do. Like we're not Evo, we're not a big major or anything like that. So it's just great seeing the community band together and do whatever they can to help support this old ass game, right? Like there's no money in Third Strike. Let's just be fucking real here. We're all doing this because we love it. So it's just great to see the community come together. We raised, I think, $12,000 or $13,000 on GoFundMe, which was amazing. And then I think another few grand on Facebook as well. So with that money, they were able to get the roof repaired quickly. They got the roof done within 2 weeks. Got everything repaired. They're still working on some of the American cabinets and everything, but ArtCade's open. The boys are actually out there playing tonight, Third Strike. So the open's still continuing, just like normal. Same venue, same date, same time, same location, all that. And we have you guys to thank for that. So just wanted to give a huge, massive shout outs to everyone who just helped with the fundraiser, sharing and commenting on Twitter. Yeah, just thank you guys. I truly can't thank you enough. So
Yeah,
awesome to hear.
huge
And
amount of money
then
raised, right? So, shout out. I mean,
yeah,
it
yeah.
speaks to the goodwill that you and Cedric and Arcade in general and the Dallas Third Strike scene have all collected over the last couple years. Yeah, it was definitely way beyond my expectations for sure.
Yeah, it's just like I kept waking up and I just keep seeing more and more money, and it was amazing even seeing it get shared around on Japanese Twitter. Some of the Japanese players that are coming were sharing it around, seeing donations from them as well. So like, it's just great to see that they know that like, hey, like the Americans love the arcade scene as too, the arcade scene too, and they're doing whatever they can to keep it alive. Yeah, beautiful thing, man, beautiful. It's great. So, with that being said, we wanted to kind of unveil the schedule for tonight or for the open. Like we got 3 days of events planned out for you guys. Got a badass graphic that got created by Flannel Jack, Mr. GK. GK, if you're watching this, thank you so much for creating this, man. It looks beautiful. So Lance, with further ado, you want to go into the schedule and
Yeah,
kind of talk about the
let
events?
me go ahead and switch it over. So I had to workshop this a lot, and pass it by various people. This is what we landed on. Okay, so the core of the schedule, of course, was announced months ago when we first announced 3SO, and that is unchanged. So venue opens at 1 p.m. each day. Um, 5 p.m. on Friday is going to be 3v3 teams, and that's double elimination. That's going to be it for Friday. Now, once teams ends, we can definitely just make up an event, which I think is what we did last year. I think we just made up USA versus Japan, or like, yeah, great event. Anyway, Saturday, Saturday again, we'll open at 1. 2 p.m. singles, so 2 p.m. is probably the earliest we can do Saturday and Sunday, just based on experience, based on everyone waking up in their drunken stupor from the night before. Now singles is gonna go. So last year we did singles up to top 8, and then Sunday was top 8. This year we're gonna look to just ride the momentum all the way through. So we're gonna do singles starting at 2 p.m. and we will end singles that night. So there'll probably be like maybe a 30-minute break or an hour break, for people to go get food in between, before top 8. But the entire thing will end Saturday night. Sunday, and this goes into the special events we had not announced previously. Like we have been talking about these, we've been kind of workshopping these events, passing them around various people to gauge the interest. So you may already know about some of these. This is our first time announcing it in public. So on Sunday, it's just going to be 2 special events. 2 p.m. is the 3v3 character teams. That's going to be a single limb tournament. Ideally, everyone plays their mains, but of course, we all want to team with our friends. So we're not going to be strictly enforcing, oh, you're not a real Ken player. Nothing like that. Just put together a team of 3 Kens, 3 Makotos, 3 Yuns, and you can enter. We expect to take about 4 hours, and then we will wrap up the weekend with a region battle. So essentially, we're going to put together, essentially going to be a crew battle between Japan versus the West, the East, Texas, and the Midwest. Essentially, 4 regions. We'll like publish a map, I guess, with the lines drawn for what states each region gets to take. And that'll of course be single limb as well. So um, the number of players on each team is going to be determined by how many Japanese come. So we have 5 Japanese coming for sure. Presumably, if Kodama comes, that would be 6. If any, we don't know of any, but if any last minute people decide to come and bumped it up to 7, that'd be an option too. So we're not going to say going in what amount of players it's going to be. It's just going to be X amount of players, to be determined by what Japan sends, basically. For this event, we're going to kind of reach out. I would say we're thinking like basically the easiest way to do this is each region to have a team captain, and it's not up to us to pick the team captain. I feel like each region can kind of just pick their own captain. So certainly we heard Amir's name being floated for the West. Frankie or Nika perhaps for the East. And you guys pick. If you guys are in that region, we'll put the map on Twitter. You guys pick your own team captain. They pick the team. They're in charge. And we'll just handle it like that. So that's all the events for this year. Again, after Friday night, Saturday night, even Sunday night, if people want to stick around that late, you can always do impromptu events. There's no first to fives like formally scheduled, but there's always downtime here and there. There's also going to be a lot of cabinets. So if we want to, like after singles or teams is done, if people want to run first to fives, we're certainly open to doing that as well. Kind of just like whatever the mood is at the event that night, what is available, and what people want to do. So yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah. So great weekend of events lined up for you guys. Like Lance was saying, ton of cabinets. There's going to be a ton of casuals as well. So even though these events are going to be going on, there's going to be stations for casuals. You're going to get games with your boys. It's yeah, going to be a good weekend. So last year we got to. I feel like last year we got to see just about every single first to five that I wanted. Like I can't think of a single matchup that I didn't get to see. There was plenty of time to play like a shit ton of them. So yeah, and then we're gonna have 2 streams going this year as well, just like we did last year. So a ton of matches will get filmed. Um, yeah, gonna be a good week in the Third Strike, boys. Hope to see you guys out in October. Any questions or anything you guys may have regarding the schedule, 3SO, anything before we kind of dive into the interview? Fuck you, Chosen. Deport Lance, yeah, we're working on it.
I can't be deported.
We're working on it.
Yeah, I can't be deported.
I got Bubbles in the chat. What up, Bubs? How's it going, buddy? All right. Well, if no questions regarding the open,
they
let's
can
go
put
ahead
them
and
in
get
the
to
chat.
Max
We can
here.
answer them at the end too.
Yeah. When are you going to reveal the Japan Yun, or is it not set in stone? Japanese Yun is booked. Plane ticket is purchased. He is coming to the Open. Just reached out to see when I can announce it. I'm hoping to announce it in the next couple weeks. I mean, we're kind of closing in on the date, right? What do we got? Like month and a half, right? A little bit over a month and a half. Yeah. So huge name. It'll get announced beforehand. You guys are gonna love who it is too. Very, very, very strong.
It's very good. The John Doe Yun is very, very strong. I'll just say that. I would say he's the strongest player at the event at this point, but you know.
Yeah.
It really
do with
is
that
just
as you
wax.
will, chat.
Yeah.
It's just wax. I don't agree he's the strongest.
That would be so fucked up. It's like, all right, here you go, boys. The graphic comes out. It's just wax.
Surprise! It's
like,
great. REI fun.
Sorry, guys.
Yeah.
Like, sorry, guys. It's just me. So, yep, coming up. We'll have a couple more podcasts before the Open. I want to eventually do an episode when we get closer to the Open, just kind of talking about it. Maybe bringing on some of the top players from last year that attended. Talk about their strategy going in, how they're going to compete against some of these top level Japanese players. Not only that, I mean, we got some other strong players coming from all over the U.S., maybe from France as well. Announce some of those here soon too. Yeah, I don't think anybody knows about that one yet, right? Do you guys even know? Yeah.
Where
put that out
France?
there. Yeah, France, right? Yeah.
Yeah, where's that?
Paris. I don't know. I don't fucking know, dude. Europe.
Yeah.
Europe.
I think
It's the middle of Europe.
That sounds right.
Like that. Oui. It's whatever fucking place that Ratatouille was in, you know. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
The rap from Ratatouille will be attending.
Yeah, dude, he will be controlling Neobon under a hat, you know.
Just underneath Max's hat, dude. He's just playing Makoto the whole weekend.
Yeah.
God damn, dude. Max is fucking beasting right now.
No, it's just Neobon is made into a rat and he's living under my hat. Old myself, you know.
You know who wouldn't get that reference? Cho. He's never seen.
Oh yeah,
Ratatouille,
dude. Yeah, I put down a list of movies for him to watch because, like, I was straight up not sure if he had like ever seen that movie, which is like kind of weird saying for like, because he's like my age. I feel like most people our age is like have like seen that movie, you know. But
so what did his parents do growing up? Did they just not give him any like movies, no media, no nothing?
It's
like
just,
what the fuck?
I think they gave him. They're very attentive in his life, you know, which is why, yeah.
What was it like? Here's 900 episodes of Naruto, and that's all you get. Oh man! All right, enough bagging on show. So,
yeah.
Max is our guest this evening. Max, how you doing, man? How you just got back from Canada, right? Do you want to go into that first? Talk about Canada, or do you want to go through like your life story?
I mean, you can do it. I mean, I think it's like better to do everything chronologically if you want to do that. But
okay, tell us.
You know,
tell us from the beginning. Where were you born?
I was born in a far off land called Detroit. I'm good. Actually, I'm not gonna go into that. I guess, but like, I guess like how it started fighting games. I guess like I feel like that's like the big question first,
Yeah.
but
What's your first fighting game? When's the first time you saw Third Strike? Let's start there.
I guess like the first time I got introduced to fighting games is like I was in high school. I had a lot of free time on my hands. And I was just like really bored. I was really into Devil May Cry at the time, so I was like, "Oh, dude, the two dudes from Devil May Cry are in this really cool fighting game, you know, and it's called Marvel vs. Capcom 3." And so I bought that game from GameStop with money that I earned from a part-time job that I was working, and just like that was like the first game like I learned how to do like a quarter circle or like a DP input in, I think, and I was just like labbing like virtual BNBs on pad, trying to hit for loops or whatever. But yeah, that just kind of led me to like watching like a lot of VODs from that game, just like seeing the highlights, like just watching Justin Wong's like 2014 run at Evo, watching just like and it's like going back and watching like other games from that time, like a little bit of Street Fighter 4. And like by the time I got to college, I was like also like I saw like Evil Moment 37 which is like including like a lot of these compilations that I was like watching on YouTube, I guess, when I had a lot of this free time. And I was like, oh, dude, this game looks really cool. Listen to the soundtrack. Really love the soundtrack. So in like 2020, I was like playing a lot of Dragon Ball Fighters. And like during the pandemic, like I was in college, but like also like our school did a weird thing where like I was like in school or like taking any classes in the fall semester or like the summer. And so I was just like, playing a lot of Dragon Ball, playing a lot of Melee um at the time. And because like Melee had released rollback, and then like I ended up going through a really bad breakup and like just like didn't want to do like play Dragon Ball or like Melee anymore. So I was like, you know what? Like I have a lot of friends that are like learning Third Strike and like the Michigan Melee community. So I was like, you know what? Fuck it. Like I'll give it a chance and like uh just played Makoto. Just like have been thugging it out with her to this day. You know, just sticking to my guns. I ended up taking a big break from Third Strike. Like even though I wasn't like good like particularly or like taking it like super seriously, I was just like a some random like shitter like low C rank on Fight Kid at the time, and I just like did college stuff, just like skated a lot, just like played music, and then like I got a job out in Dallas, and I was like, oh, it's too fucking hot to skate because it's like I come from Michigan and like the Midwest in general, so it's like coming here in July is like really brutal. Like coming to Dallas in July is just really brutal. Like that switch up where it's like, oh, I'm used to like summers, like you know, like a hot day, like a really hot day where I don't want to go outside. It's like 90 degrees, and that's like happening in like the midst of August, like out here. But like in Dallas, it's just like, oh fuck, dude, like it's 110 degrees outside. Like like I don't know if I can skate like in this weather, and like also like I didn't have a lot of friends to play music with because I was just like new to that area. So I was like, you know what? I heard that like Free Play ran this like jazzy thing, so I'll just like go check it out. Um, I walked into Free Play Arlington on a Friday night, and the first people I talked to, the first person that like came up and talked to me was Cam, and like he was like, "Oh, you should join our Discord." And then like I played Alex a little bit, and Alex was like, "Oh, I'm the guy." He gave me the talk where it's like, if you need anything, like you know, beers, drugs, woman, you know, hit me up. But he's like, I'm the guy that gets people good. So you know, just like here's my number, and just like I'll let you know when I'm at the arcade. And like yeah, I guess like that's how I started in Dallas. But that's like a big part of like how it like started coming out. And then I think towards the end of August, like that's when like Joe and Alan had come to Dallas like for school, I think. And I was playing Cho a little bit, and that was the first time I met him at this one tournament, and we were like going back and forth in terms of games. So he's like, "Oh yeah, like we should play more often." Like I was like proposing that to him. Was like, we should play a lot more often because like we're like close to the same skill level. And yeah, me and Cho were playing like every single day for like a couple months, and then like just like have secret sessions at like Free Play Richardson, just go to Arlington, Artcade, like even in Cho's apartment, we like just boot up OE if like Free Play was closed, like on a rare day. And yeah, like me, Joe, Sonny, Alex, we played the game a lot and just like talked shop, and like that kind of helped me a lot in like getting better. And then like after that, just like you know, y'all started to like notice that like I was getting better. Like Yuki started to really notice that I was getting better, and like y'all like just like kind of gave me a lot of advice. And yeah, that's like how I guess like my third strike journey like started, I guess. But yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
something. I mean, I've heard this a lot from the Dallas guys. There's this whole link in the chain, which is Alex the Machine, which he really
Oh
is
yeah,
like the guy who, when you start off and you're terrible, he will come out and play you 6 times a week if you want, right?
yeah, and he really did that. And there's like several times where like he just didn't sleep. Uh, he was spending a lot of time in his office, so
Yeah.
he was available like at all hours like of the day. So it was like pretty easy to get in contact with him with like playing games and that kind of stuff. And like he was like sort of like our first benchmark in the sense where it's like this is like the first guy that we all like kind of wanted to beat, and I feel like that helped a lot. And I feel like Alan and Jason, who are like also like the two newer like up and comers, I guess, in Dallas, like I think they would say like the same thing as well. But yeah.
Yeah, I kind of remember a time when it was like there was like pre-you guys, and then like I just feel like one session I just noticed like, oh, it's Cho, Max, Alan, like they're all here, like they're all like, I don't know, maybe you guys all kind of like built your skill level up at the same time, where I was like, oh, these guys are coming consistently, like they understand the
Yeah.
game, they know what's going on, and I'm like, okay, now we just got them three now, and they're like a part of it or whatever.
Yeah, I don't know. Alan, like, I feel like he was like always good before us, just because like he had like that insane jazzy run before like I like moved to Dallas, like
Mhm.
where like he beat like FM or and Mark like Yogurt Brain, like he beat those two, and like this insane like when he was still playing Ibuki, but like
Mhm.
when he started playing Chun was like when like he was like properly coming up with us, I guess. But yeah,
And then he switched characters 12 times, and then went
yeah,
back to
dude.
Chun.
Yeah. There's like he's like, yeah, it's not consistent. Like I gotta play Makoto. Like Max, you gotta talk shop about Makoto. And then like he was like, nah, fuck this, I'm gonna play Chun. And then like all this stuff about going up the tier list, like he just goes all the way back to Q, just like and just like yeah.
No, Alan
I
will
don't know if
just
you
talk to me at work, like,
yeah.
yeah, like send me a bunch of Dudley shit, bro. I'm gonna learn fucking Dudley. I'll send him
Yeah.
all this shit, and it won't even last like 24 hours. And he's like, "Fuck it, back to
Yeah.
Chun." Like, whatever, dude. This
Yeah.
character sucks. Like, all right,
Yeah.
Alan, okay. But
Yeah.
yeah, I feel like Alex is kind of like the. I mean, he is the machine, right? He just pumps out these new players for us. Like, he just fucking puts them to work at the arcade, and then like, all right, get out there and be somebody. Um, Shout outs to the machine. Eventually, we got to get him on this podcast, though.
Dude, yeah. It's a Twitch ban incoming in like 5 minutes, like like just that easy. But yeah, I think like he's just like also like has very good people skills. I think that's a big thing
Yeah.
too, where it's just like he's like very good at like talking to people, and also like the way he teaches the game is like sort of like I'm going to beat you over the head with like the same like option I'm doing,
Mhm.
and if you don't beat it, then you know you're just dumb, I guess. But yeah.
But I still can't beat it, bro. So I don't know. I've been trying to beat Alex for like 8 years, dude. I've been getting hit by
Damn,
fucking
really?
corkscrew into corkscrew like my entire fucking
Oh my
life. I
God.
don't think it's
Yeah,
ever gonna
yeah,
happen.
yeah.
So
What was the story where he's saying where he's like, I don't know how to beat Yun at all, and he's like, and so like, what's your game plan against Yun? He's like, oh, I'm just trying to find a berry like in between Ganasian or whatever, and I'm like, yeah, it's just that's just a machine, dude. Like I don't know, he's just goated. He's just goated. I don't know. Yeah,
well, there's sometimes Alex will ask me a question and I'll tell him the answer, and I can just tell he doesn't understand the answer at
yeah.
all. Like he's just kind of
He's like,
like,
he's doing the.
oh, okay, okay, okay.
Yeah, and like when you're like talking this like the that like thing, I'm talking about. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
uh,
fucking Alex, man. So, what
yeah.
was the first tournament you entered in Dallas?
It was
Do you
like
remember?
some random free play tournament.
Mm,
I think like it was like some free play monthly. I think I was just there with yeah, Joey. I smoked a lot of weed with Joey. I don't think I did good. I beat Brian Turner. I think that was the only person I beat at
hell
that
yeah.
tournament. But I think that was the first like third strike tournament I went to, like out in free play or just like Dallas. Like I don't, I forget who even was there. I think like Joe of course was there. Like Alex was there, Cedric was there. I remember like before top eight, Alex was playing like. Do you remember like the Let's Go Jungle like shoot 'em up sort of game that was like in a big like fucking like fake like vehicle or whatever that was
You
like
think so?
by
Yeah. Oh,
the
the jungle
yeah
jungle jam or
yeah
whatever the fuck it is. Yeah.
Alex was just like in there getting super into it like into like the fucking game like right before like he was like supposed to play in top eight or whatever but yeah I don't know
And did you just was Makoto like your character to begin with, or did you look at the
Oh
character set
yeah.
screen and was like, "That's my bitch right there. That's the character I want to play with," or what?
I think at first I was like trying to be like, okay, I want to play like Makoto and Ken, where it's just like I liked how like Makoto looked. I like her. I think the big thing that I liked about her was like her theme song, and also like her forward throw animation, where she just like does like the judo throw into like and just like punches you on the ground. I was like, oh, that looks fucking sick, you know. And
Yep.
like I was playing her, and then like my friend was like, yo, you gotta check out this guy. His name's Tomi Naga, you know, like the common like I would say like um the Redditor like answer I guess for like
Mhm.
Makoto players where it's like okay like tell me not mistake you can do this like touch death combo and it's like coming from someone that used to play like Marvel and Dragon Ball it's like okay like that looks super cool you know but I think like after that I was just like watching like more like me more and I was like oh yeah like this is like this character's fucking sick too so like I was just like I also there's like another guy named his tag is Pops. Shout out to him. But he was like also like walking me through like Makoto, just like talking shop, just like telling me like basic shit, and like that was like pretty easy to like. There wasn't really anyone that played Candid like amongst the friend group, so like it was just like easy to get like the answers from him on like how to like do basic Makoto stuff, I guess. But yeah,
Mm. Yeah, so I feel like Tominaga is like kind of the first Makoto everybody gets like introduced to, right? Like, oh, look at this guy, he just fucking kills people off one decision, and everybody's like, this is the sickest shit ever. Like,
yeah,
Tominaga's a
it's
god, he's just fucking
yeah,
grabbing people and he wins on one decision. It's awesome.
yeah,
I
it's like
hate
the
that
same
shit.
as like Marvel fans like watching like Apology Man. I don't know if you like seen that, or it's like
Mm.
Oro, like or Oro like Iron
Yep.
Man or something like that, where it's just like I don't know, dude. Like, it's like they're like, oh my god, he's like killing him in one hit, but it's just like one of those things where it's like, I don't know, dude. Like, I call those characters where it's like, there's like the archetype that I call him is like the character where it's like, okay, I know you haven't been touched by like someone of the preferred sex in your life, you know. I call him the virgin character, I guess, but I don't
Virgin
know, like, yeah, it's just like one of those like where it's like, okay, like you're taking out like like ice climbers, like Oro, like Iron Man, like those are, like the big ones,
Hey,
you know.
let's not bring
Yeah,
ice climbers into this, all right?
yeah,
Leave ice
I don't
climbers
know.
out of this, all right?
Nah. I'm gonna bring him into it. Yeah, but that's the best way I could call him. But you know, it's
So did
just
you try it? Did you try Tosa first, or did you go straight to Seichu?
no, it was like so like that guy was playing Pop was playing he was playing Seichu, so he's like, oh yeah, stick with Seichu because like you know you're not gonna be hitting this combo. I mean he's like I can't hit this combo and I've played for like 2 years longer than you, and so I'm like okay I probably should I probably can't hit it so just like I'm just gonna do like Crocs and that's like Seichu Sen or whatever,
Mm.
and you know I just like kind of thugged it out from there I guess and just like have been still playing Makoto for like these past like 3 or 4 years I guess, but 4 or 5 years more like, but yeah. Yeah.
So you didn't really experiment too much earlier on. I know now, like you're playing a lot more characters, and your sides have definitely got a lot better. But were you just kind of straight up Makoto for years on that shit? Like didn't really experiment.
Trying to play Goki, but I remember like Dan, like saying something where it's like, you know, Goki's like the character that like everyone thinks they have because like they can do like Tatsu into DP or whatever, and like I was kind of like that too. Where I was like, yeah, I can do low forward Tatsu DP, like I have a Goki, and I can jump back and air fireball, like but I can do short hurt super or like the close forward super or whatever. So like I didn't really have like a Goki, I guess, but like I think like when it came to experimenting, it wasn't until like towards like the end of my like tenure, I guess, like my time living in Dallas. I think like Cho and Sonny weren't living in Dallas at the moment, and I was just like at ArtCade, and I was just like, you know what, like I'm just gonna beef up my sides at this point, where it's just like I feel like I'm like I don't want to be a one trick. Also, it's like I like the game enough to where it's just like oh I want to like experiment with like the rest of the cast. So it was just like mostly like Ken and Yun, I guess. But yeah,
Yeah, talk.
yeah,
I want to hear a little more about that. I mean, so and then we kind of commented on this in on show's episode as well. There was a time, there's been time periods of different levels of involvement from each player, right? There was a time period where Yuki came out a bunch. There was a time period where I was running first to five nights. But there, those kind of both evaporated at the same time for different reasons. And then
yeah,
in the wake of that, I'll leave it at that. At the wake of that, it was just you, Cho, and Sunny. I think those are the three names you just mentioned. Were kind of just
yeah.
like carrying. I want to say totally carrying because of course Alex the Machine is still playing. He's still going to ArtCade and stuff. But you guys are
I
kind of
think
carrying
Cedric had
Dallas.
bought.
Go ahead.
Yeah, yeah. Cedric had brought his cabs around that time too, but I think that was like a little bit after like Sonny had gone back to Houston. And then because like his contract with his job was over, I think, and then like Cho had to go back. He was taking like an academic leave, so he went back to Houston as well.
Hmm.
So yeah, it was just like me, I guess. But and like I think like we tried to run Dannison like around that period of time in the arcade, and it was somewhat successful, I guess. But I think like the interest started dying out for it because like both like some like the older people like just like Eddie and like Alex were like, oh, I just want to play like a
Hmm.
bunch of casuals with like one person like at once, rather than like just doing this like one first and one cab rotation. But it's like they wouldn't participate as much as like we would like them to. But just yeah. Um, wait, like sorry, your question was like about like the time like Sonny, Cho, and me, I guess, but
Well,
I
I
don't
mean, you're
know.
already kind of talking about it, and just for the
Yeah.
record, I think Dennison is basically impossible to run in America. We've tried
Oh
it.
yeah,
I think so
yeah,
too.
We
Yeah,
tried it
yeah,
twice. It's
we've tried
yeah,
it. I think we tried it like 3 times
we
now, and
tried
then
it
Show every
at
now
free
and then will
play.
get fucking fired up, and it's like fuck it, Dannison, and then that shit
yeah.
lasts like a week and a half, and we're like, dude, this is too
I
much
th- I, th-
work.
I think it's just
Let's
a way
just
for
play.
Cho to like. I think Cho is just finding a way to flex on everyone with his side characters.
This is true.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm joking.
That's
I'm
is that
joking.
the
I'm
genesis
joking.
of all
But yeah,
Sure.
Dennisons? Like, I wonder if I
Um,
can
that,
beat all of them with 7 different characters. Well, I'm
I
gonna
it's
think
run
I
with
think I
fucking.
try to do.
It's got
Yeah,
to be that because like Cho will like learn some fucking Yuri and Unblockable or something like, you know what, Dannison, I'm gonna get fucking top Dan with this shit, hit some sick ass combo that he's been labbing for fucking 2 hours at home. Like, all right, time to run a Dannison, okay?
like someone that like
Um,
has like not more than half the hours that he has in the game. But
um,
yeah, yeah. But yeah, I think like yeah, Danson's like hard to run. I like we tried to run it in Michigan, I think one time, and like a little selfishly, it was like a way for me to also flex on people with my side characters. I was like, you know what? I was like, you know what? I can make top four with the four top Dan with like Makoto, Ken, and Yun. And I was just like, that was like the genesis of. But it's like also I was like, I don't know. It was like crazy where it's like I want to see how far I can take it. Where it's like I had like Makoto, Ken, and Yun in the top Dan, and that Dan was like not active at all. So like the second best Dan, it was like four of my characters and two other people or something like that. And then like it was like my Ryu, my Yuri, and my Dudley and my Yang or something like that. And like the next best Dan or whatever. But I don't know. I think like I don't know what happened. I think our Dan just died off because people like weren't wanting to like attend it, I guess either. But yeah,
Yeah, they're hard to maintain, and like, yeah, I
yeah,
think after like 2 or 3 weeks, people are just like, "Fuck, man, this is like a chore almost." Like running all of it and updating a
yeah,
spreadsheet and all this stuff. I remember we tried it at
yeah.
like Free Play Arlington there for a bit, and it
Oh yeah,
became
and like
like an
Yuki
he
got
was
his
like
like rems.
dumpstering us with like rimming,
Yeah,
and they were like,
yeah,
"Dude, I
yeah,
don't want to
yeah,
like lose
yeah,
to." I mean, no offense to Yuki Remy, it's pretty fucking
yeah,
sick, but it's like this
yeah,
feels
yeah,
bad. This
yeah.
doesn't feel good
It
at
doesn't
all.
feel good. Yeah, yeah,
And that's
That's some
kind
but
shit
of
you like negotiate behind closed doors, right? Like, yo, I need some
yeah,
Remy experience. Like, let's have a first to five
yeah.
or something. Like, let me
Because
learn the
I
matchup.
think I
Like,
think it was the thing where it was like Yuki and Lance got their characters up all the way up to like Dan 3, which is like the highest, right? And then like Yuki's like, oh,
there
I
was
want to
one
keep.
other person in there too.
Was it?
Ray
Oh,
Alex. Ray Alex.
oh,
did,
I'm
did
just
Ray Alex kind of slip in there? That doesn't sound
Ray
right.
Alex was up there. Ray Alex was up there. Just
okay,
saying. So
okay. Well, Ray Alex and like I think Noe was also like Noe Dudley was also like
yeah, he was up there. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, he was up there I think too. And like I just remember like just being like just on like some scrub shitter like at the bottom of like Dan 1 and just like having to like go back into the meat grinder where it's like okay like I gotta play Yuki Makoto now. And then like next time on the cab I'm playing Yuki Remy, like it all the way in like Dan 1. I'm like this is fun.
Who was the one guy? Was it Nick? I think like Nick fucking he
Yeah.
got super upset. He just got dumpstered by Yuki Remy. Like this fucking
Yeah.
sucks. I'm just fucking losing to Remy. I'm just like, holy shit.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
it
yeah, yeah. I
happens,
think it
bro.
was.
It happens.
I think it was Nick, and also like I remember that was the same night where it's like it was like the first time I'd seen Alan freeze a cab by hitting the panel so hard, too. I
And it
don't know,
wasn't the
but
last. It wasn't the
yeah,
last, too, dude.
it wasn't the last. It wasn't the last, but it was the
Um,
first time that I had seen it though. So, but yeah, that's like yeah, good times. I think that was like the first time like I've seen a lot of people in like that scene get salty too. Like I
yeah.
don't know, because like no, everyone was kind of tired of like losing to like Lance and like Yuki and like I don't know. That was like the big crux like of it, I guess. But you know,
And that's kind of the difficulty in running Dennison, and it's kind of how every Dennison goes, right? Like if you talk to the guys who
yeah,
were going to Tokyo back when there was Dennison, they've described exactly the same thing. Ryan's talked about it. Like, yeah, you're like moving up to Dennison, you're like, oh, I'm doing good, and you just run into fucking KO 12, and you just
Yeah.
lose, and you're just stuck there for the
yeah,
rest of the night. Like that's the experience.
yeah,
So it's not like it's unique to
yeah,
Dallas or I mean, other scenes in
Yeah.
America
yeah,
have tried Dennison as well, including
yeah,
like New York, and you always see the same. It's always like, okay, the two or three best players in the scene, they run 12 characters up the ranks, and that's
yeah,
what kind of game Third Strike is as well, right? Where it's a game where yes, character matters, especially when you're playing people at the same skill level. But often there are skill gaps enough to like, Yuki can just beat you with Remy. Yuki does not need to play Yun or Ken or Makoto. Like he can just beat you with anyone.
yeah. Like it's like if you look at that game versus like Dennison like stats, like you see like Rikimaru and like Nuki and like Boss and like KO and like having a character in like every one of like the top 10 ranks or something like
Yep.
that, and it's
Yep.
just like, you know, it's
I
like
feel
same
like
shit happens over there. Yeah,
I feel like they got enough bodies there to where it probably doesn't feel as bad.
Yeah. They can
Whereas like
absorb it a
here,
little
it's just
better.
oh
yeah,
fuck, dude, I just got dumpstered by him, and like all right, now he's
yeah,
picking a different
yeah,
character, and I got to deal with this shit. So
You got like
yeah,
three cabs,
um,
30 people there, and like this, if you're one of the newer players, your only experience is getting on every like 12 people. Oh, now I'm losing to Ray Alex, and now I'm losing
yeah.
to
Hey, man, there's
Sunny's
no shame in that, bro.
Makoto.
Come on, now.
yeah,
Let's be fair here. Ray
Yeah, and
Alex,
then
very strong.
we tried to
So
design around it, right? We are like, well, okay, like, if you're if you're one of the two or three best players in the league in the scene, you just start off at second Dan. Like first Dan, all your characters start off in second Dan. We'll just assume they can get there. Like we were trying to like mitigate those issues, but eventually you just kind of arrive to the conclusion like this isn't gonna work. Like Dennison just does not
um,
work in America.
I think Joe made a good adjustment where he's like no alts until like the second weekend or something like that. Like no side characters until like week 2 pretty much. But yeah,
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just tough. It requires with how small the American scene is. I think it just requires a lot of commitment from everyone, and not
yeah,
everyone's that committed, right? Like, I mean,
yeah.
even amongst our scene, like we got our like hardcore guys, and like we have people outside of that that are still pretty strong, but like they're not as serious or about it. And it's
They're
like
like not like
sometimes they just, yeah, they just want to show up, have a couple beers,
yeah,
hit some fucking buttons, do some combos. So I get it, I
yeah.
get it. Yeah,
Or it's
I
just like
mean,
people that aren't like consistent with like appearances, I guess, where it's like just like do the
yeah,
life stuff, where it's like, I'm pretty sure would have like competed in our Dennison, but like he wasn't there too much, so it's like
yeah,
we like didn't rake him too I think he would have liked to do it as well as like, like Dre, like Eddie, Noe, like there's like all these
um,
people, that like don't come out like super consistently or just like come out on like a Thursday, which is like not the arcade night.
yeah. I
And
mean,
yeah,
even like midweek, like me and Lance cannot make a Tuesday session. Like it's just
yeah.
never gonna
It's
happen.
an
It's not on
Yeah,
the cards for us.
hour and
So
change drive each
yeah,
week.
yeah. And I
yeah,
mean, I did that for years, boys. Like I fucking drove to Arlington for years, like 2.5 hours round trip, 3 or 4 nights a week to play. But I'm too old for that, guys. I need my fucking eight
yeah.
hours of sleep. I'm sorry. So yeah,
I'll
but
be
I think
happy
what
when your
Lance was
leg.
kind of getting at with this is like I feel like with Dallas there's always someone to kind of like pick up the scene when someone either has to like take a break or step aside. Like I always feel like if I can't host an event, like it's cool because like Cho's gonna do something in our arcade, or we'll find some way to like keep this scene going, and like it's never like okay, someone else has to pick up the slack. Someone just like assumes like okay, well like Ray or Lance or like someone else can't do this. Like okay, cool, I'll do an event. Or even Cho now is like, hey, I'm running first to tens like on Friday night, like with high profile matches. So I think that's like the beautiful thing about our scene is like there's always kind of someone to step up and pick up that slack when someone has to like step away or maybe handle some real life stuff. And I mean, we always come back and we're always playing. Like no one really quits. that's just like, hey, yeah, I gotta handle some real life shit for a bit, and then I'll see you guys in a few weeks. So yeah.
Yeah, that's the goal, I think, and that's like it's exciting. Like that, I've been part of spaces, maybe not Third Strike related, but like spaces where you're putting a lot of energy into something and you're seeing the results. Like there's more activity, more people are coming out, and the moment you have to step back, it just dies, and you realize like you're the
Yeah.
only thing making this happen. It's not like you're special, but you're the only one like willing to put in that effort or whatever. And you feel like, okay, I have to do this. I have to do this forever. Like I have to be giving. I have to show up
Mhm.
to every single thing for years if I want this to keep going. But that's not the case in Dallas Third Strike, right? Like there have been so many time periods where Cho and Sunny have moved away for a year. I wasn't really coming out for about a year. Yuki raised had break like, and still there's always someone to run it. So yeah, I mean that's really exciting to me. It really speaks to the resilience of the Dallas scene, and I think it speaks to the passion of everyone as well. That's really what you want out of a scene like this: is that it is
Yeah,
that kind of
100%.
collaborative atmosphere, and and so on.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's never like a like I'm handing this off either. It's just like someone just picks up the slack.
Yeah, it's not like it belongs to
Like
anyone, right? It's just like, I won't be out for a while. All right, next guy is gonna just go run shit then.
yeah.
Like it's like the same with like the mentorship. I feel like too in Dallas, where it's like Yuki's taking his breaks. Lance just like kind of stepped up in like certain parts like that, where like Yuki like is not here or like Lance isn't here, and like each of you guys like will like switch out, and also like there's like we have Alex, like Sonny, like Cho, like helping mentor like newer like people. Jason is like a big one that like comes to mind, where like Cho like, and also me, like I guess like, and to some extent, and Alex, took Jason under our wing, I guess, and like try to like show him how to do shit, I guess, in the game. And look where he is now, dude. I heard he beat this guy Shinta 5-2. So,
I did
um,
hear that.
Yeah,
yeah,
I'm glad you bring that up because that is actually, like on a lot of scenes, the mentorship comes from like the top two guys if they're interested, for as long as they can, and then that's it. Um, but yeah, like you said, Jason is of all like the up and comers. Jason is like the first guy where like me and Yuki had nothing to do with him. Like we cannot claim
yeah,
any credit. We did not coach him on anything. We weren't around when he was. I know who he was until he just started showing up, but he had been. You guys knew him. Um, and so again, that speaks to the resilience of the scene and the depth of collaboration and like because we've all talked about the game so much, this information is just out there. It's like a big cohesive cloud, right? So I mean, I think that's really cool.
yeah. I really like that a lot about like the Dallas scene, like especially where it's like a lot of it's sort of like we're getting information from like you and Yuki, and we're just like kind of like telephoning it down to like someone else, and just like, and also like the fact that like Cho, Jason, and like me, I guess, to an extent, and like Ray can all kind of play like other characters to like a certain extent, to where it's like, if someone needs help with like a different character, like we can like give them like a very basic like sort of outline on like what to do, but like not well, like not to the point where it's like super like in depth. Like we'll like give them a basic outline and like show them like where to go after that, I guess. You know? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jason especially too. Like like Lance said, like had nothing to do with that. I just remember like entering one tournament. I'm like, fuck, this is hard, bro. Like, where did you come
Yeah.
from? Why is this difficult? Like, this should just be like Hugo, get out of my way. All right, next match or whatever. And now it's just like every time I see his ass in bracket, I'm like, God damn it, dude. I don't want to play against this shit.
Yeah, to be honest, like we've kind of created a monster,
Yeah,
where like I don't think we ever should have showed him like Crota, like
I know,
Hugo, I guess.
right?
Like I don't know, it's like one of those things where it's like, dude, like I don't know, y'all seen me play, like y'all played
Mm,
me a bunch, but like I'm like I guess like out of like me, Cho, and Alan, like I guess like me and Alan like tend to be like the more like just super like go 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 like attack like sort of like
mm,
super offensive heavy, but it's like Jason's just like I'm like dude fuck dude I can't even axe kick him. Like one of the only people
good.
where it's just like the only one of the only people in like Dallas that can like actually like parry axe kick, and I'm like dude what the fuck bro, like I don't know, but
Well, like
yeah like
I'll I'll pick Yun in casuals, and he'll sit down and pick Hugo, and I'm like, bro, I don't have time for this. Like,
yeah yeah
fucking to
yeah
beat you, I gotta like sit in my own corner and just watch my meter go up and just not interact
yeah
with your fucking character at all. And it's like, I don't
yeah
have an hour and a half to play 5 games with you, Jason. Like,
yeah
get to
yeah
this shit. So, Yeah,
Yeah.
Jason's he's a beast. He's a monster. It sucks too
He's
because like
incredible. He's really good. Yeah.
we're traveling a lot, but like I feel like Jason gets gate kept by Dallas a lot because like we play
Yeah.
Jason so much, we understand like his style and everything, but
Yeah.
he'll like run into like a me or a Cho or someone like that before top 8, and like it blows because I want to get him on that stage so people can like see him shine
Same.
because he's so
It's
fucking
like
good.
I think he's like one of like most like I think like him and Ben are like two like Ben and Allen like surprisingly are like the three players in Dallas where I'm like, dude, like these guys are really fucking good, but like no like not much people really know who they are, I guess, in a sense where it's
Mm.
like I don't know. Like I think like just like showing a spotlight and like I feel like Jason like not only gets filtered out by you guys, but also like characters where like not much people in Dallas really play like to like a high caliber, like Goki is like a big one. I feel like that Jason kind of gets filtered out by like pretty hard. Like I don't know. There's like a lot of brackets where I've seen him where it's like he's got to play like good Gokis, and I was like, oh fuck, dude. Like I
Yeah,
don't know,
or a
but
fucking
yeah,
Ibuki or something like that, and it's like a
yeah,
backend,
yeah,
like dude. So
yeah, yeah,
yeah, but I think what was it not last year, the year we all teamed for fives like at Jazzy.
yeah.
That was like
Oh
the
yeah,
first
dude, he
year.
popped the fuck off, dude.
That
Like
was the
yeah,
first year people like I was so happy just like looking out in the crowd and seeing everybody like getting fucking losing their mind. I'm like, yeah, this is just a Tuesday night at
yeah,
ArtCade. Like
yeah, yeah,
he's
yeah,
fucking red pairing everything and doing ridiculous giga setups. Like,
yeah.
and I was like, oh, you
Just
guys
like
get to see this. Like,
yeah, Kentachi like it's like fucking like I don't know. Like it's like he's moving his fucking big toe, you know, and just Tachi's it,
mm,
you know. Yeah.
um, so speaking of that traveling, like, I'm really happy that the Dallas team is traveling a lot together. Like, what's kind of some of your favorite tournament memories of like traveling for Third Strike?
Oh, I mean, like outside of just like going to Texas, I think like Chicago. That's just like probably like my favorite scene, like outside of Dallas and Detroit, you know. I, like my favorite scene that like I wasn't like entrenched in or just like, you know, or like just like lived with, you know. Um, but Chicago is like Logan Arcade, fucking go there, dude. Like the people there, like fucking awesome. Like I think like just like pretty much like every like Logan auto call has been like incredible. It's just been like
Mm.
really fucking fun. Drinks are really cheap there. $2 PBRs, really good. Also,
Holy
they have like
shit. Okay.
yeah,
Free play could
yeah,
never, bro. Free play could
yeah,
never.
yeah, yeah. They're not like even like one of these big guys. They're like one of the smaller guys like this,
I'm
you
fine
know.
with that. I'm
Yeah,
fine.
yeah,
Yeah.
but it's like they're $2, and also they have this thing called the Ecto Cooler. I don't know if it's like this like local brew or like some like, but it's like the high C like
The high C
Ghostbusters
punch
like
from like Ghostbusters
yeah
shit?
yeah yeah but
Okay.
it's like an alcoholic seltzer instead and it's like
Okay,
not as
okay.
sweet but it's really good, it's really fucking good. But also like dude, like shouts out to Logan, like shouts out to like part two, like everyone out there, like Mark Nipperman, like just
Mm.
Yogurt Brain, like Mark Yogurt Brain, Nipperman, Patty,
Patty.
you know,
Yeah.
like all those dudes, like big shouts out to Patty. Like he's let me stay at his like place like so much, and like also like that dude lives like a 5 minute. I'm not trying to dox him here or anything like that, but he's a 5 minute walk away from Logan, so it's like pretty easy to just like get like insanely fucking hammered and just like I don't gotta worry about driving, you know, like all the time. But like dude, Logan's just like it's just a great scene, great vibes, you know. Also just like getting second that one year, I think it was like 2 years ago or something like that, was like I kind of see that as like a pretty big highlight, I guess, in terms of like my third
Mm,
strike career, I guess. But yeah, it's just like one of the best scenes, and also like all the other Midwest scenes, all the other Midwest people that have come out, you know, like
mm.
I think like the big ones, like the Indianapolis scene, of course the Detroit scene, but like the Indianapolis scene, like especially like in Silo as well as like Rescue Ryan, like those are two big ones. Pat like Z Specters, that guy's pretty awesome. And like this past year, you know, the dudes from some of the Toronto dudes came out,
Yeah.
Mateo and Shakunetsu, Zed, both of them like they came out. Those two, we'll probably get onto them later, but like those guys are really fucking awesome. Um, but yeah, there was like I think this past year's auto qual. I think like in Silo, his girlfriend and Ryan, they had invited us to like an izakaya, and it was like me, like my buddy Angelo from Detroit, and then Mateo and Shakunetsu. We went to like this izakaya and like just like drank like 6 bottles of like shochu, like the big bottles, just like all together. And then like they had like like I remember we went to Showdown. Jace like took us to this bar where it was like you could do like karaoke at the table inside this big projector, and like they hand the fucking microphone to your
Okay.
table. And yeah, we like they had that over there, and we did that. You know, it was pretty awesome. But yeah, like I think like every time I've been to like Chicago, whether it was like for like the auto calls or like Frosty or like even Combo Breaker, you know, just like drinking in the parking lot with your bros, dude. That like that's just awesome. That's it's pretty awesome. Just like Chicago's just great. I have many great things to say about them. Also, like this Toronto trip, which y'all will be wanting to get into later, I guess, was pretty freaking sick too. But I think there's just like I've only really been to Chicago, like Texas. I went to Evo, of course, last year with you, Ray. And to be honest, like I don't know, I had a great time over there. If I gotta be honest, but I think it just like I had to do like like way more with like hanging out with like people that we hadn't seen in a bit, like Neobon or like Issei, just like meeting them like for the first time, like meeting Issei for the first time was pretty awesome, like for me at least. And just like seeing like Duralath, like all the SoCal dudes that like
Um,
we don't really get to see too often, you know. Like that was like the best part of Evo, I guess. And like also like just like the Hawaii suite at Evo is like up there with like one of my favorite just like travel memories, I guess, with like Third Strike in general. But yeah.
yeah, the players made that event for sure. I don't think it was like
Yeah.
the event. It was just like it was great to see like all like people you usually don't see, and like even like like names like fucking Hung B's there. Like where am I gonna see Hung B like out on the
Yeah.
the wilderness? I'm not gonna see him.
Yeah.
Like that'd be like the only place I can. So
Yeah.
um, but yeah, that was a fun weekend. Like I mean,
Yeah.
honestly, outside of like the suite and then watching the finals on stage,
Yeah.
I hated everything else about it. Like I hate Vegas.
Honestly, yeah,
I
I like I hate that like I have to spend like fucking like $13 for a tall boy, and it's just like,
Dude,
I mean like
we would
just
go eat fucking Burger King and it was like $24 for a Whopper
yeah,
combo. And
yeah,
I'm like, what the
yeah,
fuck is this shit? Dude, I don't even like Burger
yeah,
King. Like,
yeah. And it's just like I don't know, dude. Everything about that city just fucking like it just feels like Disneyland for like degens. I mean, I say this because I
yeah,
feel bad for saying this because I'm like I would consider myself a degenerate that like
yeah,
loves
same.
gambling, but also like I love gambling and but I don't like doing gambling when I don't have money to gamble with. You know, it's just like
Yeah, I spent all my money
it's
at
like
fucking
yeah,
Burger King, dude. I can't
yeah,
even afford to gamble, dude.
yeah. I can't even afford to play roulette or whatever. You know, but yeah, it's just like I don't know, like I thought that event was great overall. Though it was like not the event, but like just like that was just like a fun weekend, you know. But it was just it was like it was just that like that Hawaii suite night was just like that night was like really fucking awesome. Like that like made that whole weekend for me to be honest. Like as well as like watching the finals. Like yeah,
Yeah,
but
so yeah, recently I guess we'll just go ahead and get into you went to Canada, right? Like uh
yeah,
kind of talk about like Toronto's like Toronto Third Strike. That was around when I was like a kid. Like literally like 13, 14. Used to watch like the Tosef videos. I get hype on that shit. They had like badass combo videos and stuff like that. And then kind of been silent, since then. So like,
yeah.
do you kind of know? I mean, maybe we have to get Mateo on the podcast to kind of talk about like where the rebirth or whatever came from this and where like the sudden spark came from. But can you kind of talk to me about like what was your experience up there? Because all the photos and stuff I've seen on Twitter looked like a good fucking time, man. Like it looked like an amazing weekend.
I can also get into like the story of like how I met Mateo, I guess, but too with this, but
Do it.
I was well, I will say about Toronto is I was really hoping to see Drake, our esteemed young player that we're gonna have at the Third Strike Open. But yeah, so I had met Mateo initially like I think a year and a half ago, just on voice call because like I think like so Mateo, like as many people know, is like a former top 50 melee player, really good Captain Falcon player. But so a couple of my friends from Detroit, they had met him at the Big House, which is like this. It's like it was like a formerly like annual like super major for Smash Bros that would happen like every year, and it was like very big, one of the biggest events, you know, in Melee, I guess. And like they saw Mateo there. They had a Third Strike cab, like a Japanese cab supplied by Psychic Drive, who's like supplies all our cabs like in the Midwest pretty much. And like Mateo had come to the cab and he's like, "Oh, dude, I love this game. Like I like haven't played this game in a while, but I love it." And like when you hear people say that, you just like think about like, "Oh yeah, this guy probably fucking sucks dick," you know. Um, yeah, it's like like this guy probably sucks, but like he hops on the cab and is like still like consistently hitting like TTH and that kind of stuff with like Urian, and then
Mm.
people are like, oh, okay, like he knows his shit, like like he's like doing pretty good, like he's like hitting like the B and like a common B and like a B and B with Urian that's like not easy to hit, like particularly especially like from someone that's like hasn't played the game in a while. And like they like my friends like they got like they like started talking to him more. Like he like started becoming friends with them. And then like I think Mateo had come down to Detroit a couple times for melee events, and like we just like set up like a PS3 like set up like for OE, and like I would just like play Mateo all the time. I'd play Mateo, like we would all play Mateo, you know. He was like relatively green, relatively new, like wanted to get into the game. Like he liked the game like already and wanted to get into it a little bit more. And so like I was just like I coached him like a little bit, just like gave him like some bits and pieces that like, you know, I hear like Lance and Kang like say a bunch, you know, just like those like little bits and pieces of advice. And like he got a lot better to the point where it's like, okay, like I can't really teach you much at all with Necro. You're gonna have to look to other people. Like I think just like get into contact with Mutant and like find like his like Necro server that I think he has. But he actually got into contact with like AQH, I think, who's like a Dutch Necro player. I think he's like you'll see him at like TSB and that kind of stuff, like European Necro, very technical. Has like some really cool like VODs, and like he like invited him with like his like server where like he's being coached by like Sugiyama, like AQH, like all these like really just like smart technical players, and like he got a lot better. Started coming out to like way more events, like came out to Chicago. Frosty like had like an incredible run at Frosties, you know, and I think like him and his buddy Shakunetsu, who like was the first person to introduce like Mateo to Third Strike, they're like, okay, we're thinking about buying some cabs and like hosting this thing because like we've been like talking to Queege a lot more, who I thought was just like some cryptid online, to be honest.
Yeah.
Just some like I just like did not know what this guy's face looked like or like what it like his voice sounded like at all, you know. But like apparently like Shakunetsu like knew Queege like pretty well, like in person because like they're both from Toronto. And they're like, we're gonna buy like fuck it, we're just gonna like put our foot down, buy the Cavs because like to be honest, like there was no place to play in Toronto like before like this Third Strike Riders or like or Cavs like consistently play at, which is like really weird because like you think of like Toronto and you think it's like
Yeah,
someplace
major
like
hub.
LA.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a major hub like LA or like fucking like Chicago or like New York, and it's like crazy that like it's no diss to NC, but like places like Charlotte like have more cabs. Like even though it's like a remarkably like smaller city than like you know Toronto, they have like more places to play in like the NC like NC area, you know. But yeah, like they were like we have no place to play like consistently. So like you know like Shakunetsu and Mateo they like got this money to buy a cab, and like they hit up the people that live in London, Ontario, like in Toronto to supply another cab for Third Strike Resurrection. And Queech uses so the restaurant that we played at, like the Perfect Chinese Restaurant is like like
What is
I
that the
don't know
name?
like
The Perfect
yeah,
Chinese
yeah,
Restaurant?
it's like called the Perfect Chinese
Dude,
Restaurant.
that's
That's what it's
fucking
called.
sick, dude.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
so
it's so
sick.
sick where it's like the most like I don't, it just like reminds you of like being a kid like and just like going to a family function, you know, because like I've been
Mhm.
to like so much shit for like Chinese school stuff like in places like that, you know. So it's like okay, like I'm like just right at home right here. But yeah, it was like Queege's like aunt had like is she like worked there or like held like some like managerial position. I don't know exactly what her status was and like relationship was with that restaurant, you know. But yeah, so Queech they have like the specific like sort of banquet hall for weddings and karaoke. And like they're like, yeah, we're just gonna put our two cabs there and like just run the tournament out of there. And then like Queech kind of like uses connections with like you know like, a lot of the older heads, you know, like Akurian and like Samir and like No More Funland, like all these like Aneurysm X, like Best Come HK to
OG.
like get like all these old heads out, you know, and like Mateo has just like used his like connections with like us in Detroit, and like I drove up there with me and my buddy Chase, and my buddy Angelo from Detroit. It's like only like a 4 hour drive. Actually, like it's actually like shorter than like the drive usually is to Chicago, like just by like marginally, but like you know you got the border and that kind of stuff that you have to go through, which like takes considerably more time, you know. um but yeah, it was we drove out there. I hadn't been to like Canada in like 10 close to 10 years at this point. So it was just really cool to like be back in like that's like Toronto again because like I hadn't been in a while. And yeah, like that tournament was like pretty fucking awesome. Like, you know, it was pretty sick. Just like the food was amazing. Also just like seeing like all these people that like I'd only like heard of or like just like seen on Fightcade, just like people were just like essentially what I was saying with Queege, where it's like these people are like cryptids or whatever, where it's like I don't know what these guys look like or what their faces look like, or like, you know, like I haven't seen them at offline events in a while, and just like meeting them was like pretty awesome. Like Queege is like that guy's a fucking G, dude. Like that guy's awesome,
Good.
dude. Like a really good dude, you know. And like they just like they killed it with the event. Also, like food was great, dude. It was banging. You like you
Yeah.
heard like the aunties and the unks just like singing like old like Cantonese and like Mando pop songs from the 80s, like on the like way in the back, like on this big stereo. And I'm like, dude, like I just feel like, and like you just like saw like these two like the two unks just like sitting outside, like baggy ass shirt, just smoking cigarettes, like sitting on top of a milk crate. And I'm like, dude, like I don't know, dude. It brought me back, like brought me a lot of nostalgia. You know, I'll just say that. But yeah,
Yeah, like it was so funny
yeah,
because we were watching like the event live. Oh, Rebecca brought me some beers. Thank you so much. Appreciate you.
yeah.
Um, but yeah, I was like watching the event live, and he got down to top 8, and it was like I was like, what the fuck is taking so long? Like, where is like why aren't we like getting into top 8 yet? And then like I look on Twitter and I just see all you guys sitting down like at almost like a banquet hall, just like fucking eating food and like all the photos of the food, and I'm like, oh dude, that's too sick. Like just
The what?
stopping to eat.
It was included with like the price of
Mm,
admission. So like the venue fee was $50 because it included that meal
yeah.
too. You know. And it was like funny because like our like room was like partitioned off because there was an actual wedding like happening right next to us. While we were just like eating
Yeah.
this like succulent Chinese meal, you know, and just and like but yeah, like the meal was great. It's like funny to say because like, oh, the worst dish was like the soup, but even then like that soup was really fucking good. Like it was just like some
Yeah.
shrimp soup, you know. Like I mean like it's gonna be hard if you like have any allergies or just like don't like seafood, I guess. But even if
Yeah.
you don't like seafood, like you might find yourself liking a lot of the other food there, you know. Like they brought like steak, and like the steak was just cooked really well, you know. Just
Yeah.
like really nice texture, really nice seasoning, you know. It's like this is
How
great,
the hell do
dude.
you eat like a full banquet meal before you play top 8 though, dude? I'd be fucking done.
Yeah,
I
that's why
I'm just going to bed.
I was kind of like, I was like, I'm gonna just like have a small fork of like everything that they're
Yeah,
bringing
yeah.
out for us, where it's like, you know what, I want to be satisfied, but not too full because I remember like I had eaten like Lisa's like right before top 8
Mhm.
for what's it called for like the Dallas like auto qual, and
Oh
I
yeah,
was
yeah.
like, I think I got through like my second like chicken like finger and I was chicken like tender and I was like, oh shit, dude, like I don't know, dude, I need to like just like stand up and just like buy a Red Bull or something like that real quick because like he's about to fucking destroy me. So I was just like handing out like the rest of my food to other people like in the venue, like Teddy and like Teddy, like a bunch
Of
of other
course,
people,
Teddy.
you
Of
know.
course, Teddy,
Yeah,
dude.
yeah, but because I was like, and like then like this time I was like, I'm not making that same mistake again, you know. But yeah, but yeah, I don't know. I was like, I want to play good in this top 8, you know. Just like didn't want to like have the itis, I guess. But
Speaking of which, walk us through some of your matches for that whole tournament. So,
top 8.
or just the whole thing. I remember the first match I remember you playing was Rowan, No More Funland. I'm sure I know you played someone before that probably, but yeah, just walk us through all the matches. Any thoughts you had, or you did pretty well.
Yeah, yeah, thank you. So No More Funland, Rowan, just a name that I had heard of from people that used to play on like Xbox or PlayStation, and especially from Lance, like who is like just like this online warrior back in the day,
Yeah.
and yeah, I like so I was a little scared. It was like the same as like because like it kind of brought me back to where in Chicago last year I had to play Mural Tag,
Mm,
who's like also like this just like another just like cryptid too as well, like just like online or whatever,
yeah.
but so it's like kind of like bring me back to this where it's just like okay, I just got to play solid. Like it's Goki. You just gotta play solid. Like you know, just like play super lame. Um, and yeah, that was like the first. And like you know, I kind of like just like it's just like Goki Makoto, where it's just like I just got that one opening and had Seichu and just like made comebacks, quote unquote. But they weren't really like where it's just like I had one pixel and like it was just like one low short Hayate Seichu, just beat him and just like that was just like sort of my game plan. I just kind of played it like I was like playing Chan, you know, in a way, or it's just like I'm kind of playing lame, just like finding my openings, like not just like overcommitting too hard. And I feel like I beat him pretty soundly. Like I felt like pretty confident. Like going after that, I was like feeling like a little more confident. And like after that, I think my next match was like Joyous, and like that was like one where I was like, oh shit, dude, like I'm kind of scared. Like because like like I play Joyce online like here and there and like he kind of smacks me up like here like online like sometimes when I'm like it's just like he's Joyce very strong, just like very, very technical, like very high execution where it's just like one hit, you're dead type deal. But
Mhm.
yeah, I was like kind of going into it like a little bit scared, just like kind of like just reviewing my game plan against Yan in my head. Because like I feel like that is a matchup that I would say I'm pretty confident in, just because like I used to play Yuki like quite a bit. Like when Yuki was like living at Ray's house, like I'd play him a lot and played Ray and Cho, and like all three of you guys like have very different play styles, and like I feel like I'm just kind of ready for like that matchup. So in a way, so I was like going into like it like trying to be confident but like also cautious at the same time. Um, I think once I got that first round, it's just like restoring enough to where it's just like I could just be like, okay, I'm just gonna run my shit, and like I could tell like he was like a little bit not like shook, I guess, but like a little bit nervous, like again, like especially like playing against like a character like Makoto or like like those types of like high burst damage like sort of characters, where it's like you can tell like I could tell like he was a little bit nervous when like guessing like post Hayate at least. Um, so like I kind of took advantage of that, where it's just like okay, like he's nervous, I'm just gonna like just like press the advantage, just like not give him a chance to breathe. And I think that was like my top 8 qualifier was just like beating
Yeah.
Joyous. Um, and so like we had our meal, top 8 comes through, and then I think Samir is the first one I have to play, and I'm like thinking to myself where it's just like okay, like I'm gonna be really scared if he plays Dudley, but like he hopped on the cab, and like I played him in casuals, and I just kind of like I don't know, it's kind of a scummy move I guess, but like sometimes like if I'm like playing someone that I know I'm going to play, like I'm just gonna do the same thing over and over again in casuals. So it's just like I don't know. It's
That's some
like
OG save that shit
yeah,
for
yeah,
nationals
yeah,
type
yeah,
mentality.
yeah, a little bit where it's like I can just like kind of see like, okay, this is where he wants to press this button. After I press this, like he's gonna press this or whatever, and just like thinking to myself like, okay, just like keeping these mental notes in my head, like
Mhm.
especially against Dudley, and like so like I don't know. He like both
He
Dudley
went
was like
young though, right? He went young
yeah,
the first
no,
time.
no, no. He went Dudley first actually, and I beat his Dudley, and then he switched to Yun. He switched over to
Okay.
Yun. And like I think like I was like going into his Dudley a little bit scared because I'm like oh shit like I'm like also like but like also like even though I'm like doing like these like sort of like dumb things I guess I'm still like actually like trying to like win I guess like in
Yeah.
these games I get but like yeah like I just like stuck like I just like try to keep all those mental notes in my head of when like he wants to press those buttons with like Dudley kind of got a lucky like wake up super on him and yeah, I beat his Dudley, and like once he switched over to Yun, I was like, okay, I thought like it's just like one of those things where it's like I'm not really scared of his Yun. It's like
Mm.
it's like one of those things where it's just like yeah, like his I can tell like or I could tell like his Yun felt like a lot less dangerous, I guess, because like he's like like he's like solid, but like he's like not doing like like the most like optimal like combos and routes to where it's like I feel like I'm being hurt like a lot when I'm like taking like hits from him. So it's just like I'm just gonna run my classic sort of Yun game plan, on on him, and I kind of beat his Yun pretty soundly. I feel like I beat his Yun pretty soundly, I guess. Where like
Yeah,
towards
I
the
mean,
end, where it's
when
just
we
like I
were
got a
watching
perfect
it,
cover.
like me,
Yeah,
Lance, and Cho were watching it, I think, and then like that was the one character that weekend that I was like, oh, Max has it. Like even when he like went up
yeah,
against Joyce or whatever, I was like, he's so experienced in this matchup. Like I'm not really worried about him losing to any of the Yuns. Like we prepped him so much for this, and I
Mhm.
feel like your Makoto's like as difficult to play as a Yun. Like if you don't play like that level of Makoto that often, it's like it's hard to beat. So yeah, when he picked Yun, I was like, ah, yeah, yeah, he's got this. It's fine, it's fine.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah, yeah. It was like one of those things where it's like I don't know. It definitely felt like yeah. It was just like yeah. I felt pretty comfortable against his Yun, I
Mm.
guess. And I'd play Ak, who is like someone that I play on Fightcade like pretty often, and like our sets are pretty even. That weekend though, like I'm like, when we were just like playing casuals, like I felt like I was like doing pretty well against him. Like I was like winning majority in casuals and that kind of stuff against Ak for most of that weekend. And yeah, I think like I was like getting like I think I don't know. I feel like I was like not adapting to certain things like as fast as like I could have. Like there's like certain like things that he was doing where like I like noticed them in the moment, but like wasn't adapting to them like quick enough. Where he's just like doing like there's like one like thing that he kept doing like at close range where he would do like low forward, low parry, chop, and I wasn't like really adapting to that too hard. Where it's just like I was like still just like either just blocking it or like still like low stronging it, like trying to low strong, but like chop like beats that. And like instead of just like doing something like just like raw high tay after like low forward or just like just wait delay parry his chop and just like do stand fierce or something like that. But I don't know. I thought it was a good set personally, at least though. Like I
Yeah, it was
feel like
super
I'm like
close. Yeah,
yeah
last game,
yeah
last
yeah
round, I think. Yeah, if I
yeah
recall
yeah.
correctly.
I mean like yeah, he's strong, so like I'm pretty happy that like I took it that close with him. Like he's strong. He won the tournament. Like you can't be too mad about like losing to the guy that won the tournament. Um, Even though it was close. I also like feel like Urian is like one of the matchups like I'm pretty comfortable in too. So it like he beat me and it's just like yeah, it's just like like it is what it is. Like and then like I had to go right into Samir after that, like which is like
Yeah,
I don't know, looking
like fucking. I remember we were watching it. Like we were at Hooters actually, me, Joe, and Lance, and like I remember like seeing like, oh damn, Max lost. Okay, that sucks. And then like before like I even like turned back to my phone, like I already seen you like playing. I just remember the first thing saying is like, no, 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 like 5 minutes, 5 10 minutes, 5 10 minutes, please, please. And then like yeah, you just ran right into it. So
I think I should have gotten like a water or like taken a piss or like made the excuse to take a piss or like I don't know, like gotten like a beer or something like that because like I feel like Samir kind of like fucked me up in that losers finals, but
um,
like hindsight's 2020. It is what it is. I'm overall like pretty proud of like how I did over there. I feel like I could have done better. Like but like you can say that about everything. That you don't win, but yeah
Okay, I have
yeah.
a couple
But
question follow
I
up
feel
questions on that just because you brought up several things I thought were interesting. Um,
yeah
Obviously, okay, it's really cool that Toronto, like Ray was kind of saying, Toronto was one of the notable scenes long before I
yeah
played. Right, they've been 20 years. A lot of these guys have been playing for that long too, like Leroy, Eurithi, and a lot of the guys that you played in the tournament, Ack, and so on. So yeah, it's really cool that you've kind of gotten to a level pretty quickly where you can compete against players who have been playing for that long. I think. Yeah.
yeah.
Something I
Oh,
wanted to
thank
kind of
you.
dial in on was that you have mentioned a lot. You were playing. You were like, okay, I'm playing in casuals, and I'm just doing the same thing over and over, and I'm just paying attention to what he does in this situation and this. So at least in my mind, there's kind of a spectrum of players in terms of like, am I playing the matchup or am I playing the player? Now, what you're describing to me sounds a lot like, okay, I'm playing the player, paying attention to everything he's going to do. Do you have any thoughts on that? Like, how do you see the relationship between playing the matchup versus playing the player? Do you feel like you gravitate towards one? Do you feel like your character has anything to do with that? Those all kind of open-ended questions.
Okay, I think like I guess like going to like playing the player versus the character. I think it's good to use like your knowledge of the character matchup as like an outline sort of
Hmm.
to be like, okay, like this is what you like. It's like just basic game plan. Like especially if you don't know this person at all, to be like, okay, like these are the things that like I would like that my character's buttons are like my like these are the buttons I want to use. These are the buttons he wants to use to counter like said buttons or whatever. And like this is like his game like this is like his sort of like this character's kind of like win condition. This is my win condition. How do I reach that? How do I stop that? How do I stop his win condition? How do I reach mine? I feel like that's like a good outline to like build upon, but at the end of the day, like and like especially like first to two and like you're playing against people that you don't know how they play or like what they're capable of, I guess, where it's just like you know it's sort of like okay, like say I'm like playing like Ken, like I'm playing a Ken mirror, where it's like when you're playing like the Ken mirror, well, I mean, like, so first of all, I'm like kind of like someone where it's just like pretend everyone's an idiot until they prove they're not. But sometimes like I'll like switch it up based on like how like if I like know their name or know the results, where it's like, okay, like if this guy's like getting good results, like I'm gonna assume that like he knows how to punish high T, like or it's like something like dumb like that, I guess. But yeah, it's just like like if you're like playing like Ken, like this is like someone you don't know, this is like some random like grub shitto, where it's like, okay, like I'm just gonna assume that like this guy cannot punish like a low forward on black with like Jinrai or whatever. And I think like just like yeah, I think just like playing the player is important. Like I think it's like the most important part of the game at the end of the day. But I think like just like having a good outline for like what the character can do and what the other person can do like in tandem with that is like sort of like it's like a balancing act, I guess you got to play. And it's like, a lot of people do have different styles. And I think that can like sort of change the way you can kind of see the matchup, I guess, where it's just like, or it's just like if there's like a Urian that just like likes to block, you can just kind of like just like bully him as Makoto with like stand fierce and that kind of stuff, or like, you know, if you can just like, kind of like attack him, whereas like someone that's like pretty like guest parry heavy or like headbutts or something like that, like you gotta like just switch it up, like in terms of like mix ups at least. But I know this sounds really fucking dumb. I'm kind of drunk right now, but uh, I'm not great at like articulating this, I guess. But yeah, I think just like having like a good sort of like understanding of like how like how like the basic game plan of a matchup works, and then just like kind of building up upon that of like what like like what someone knows, like what like knowledge that someone knows about like that matchup, and just like using the character matchup as like an outline and then going right into the player matchup after that. Yeah,
Mhm. That makes sense. I think especially
yeah,
because you're a Makoto player, it's hard to imagine
yeah,
playing Makoto without developing that skill set and that approach to the game of like I have to pay attention to what my opponent's doing in all these 50-50s, right? Because that is the
yeah,
character. It's very
yeah. I
different.
think like
Oh, go ahead.
oh yeah, sorry, I was saying like especially like post Hayate is like one thing where it's just like I'm like constantly thinking of like especially when I'm playing against like Chun or like Dudley, who like all have like a lot of options like post Hayate. I'm just gonna choose the safest option that like might not like reap the biggest reward, but like is one towards like I can see what this person likes to do, where it's just like, okay, if I'm playing Chun, right, like I'll like backdash for the most part to get a sense of like, is this person a card thrower, is this person a towards roundhouse person, or is this person a crouch jabber? And like I just like kind of build upon that where it's just like, okay, like it's like a flow chart pretty much where it's just like, okay, if I get crouch jab, I'm gonna just like go for low, like just like do that again, like just like use that first rounder like to gather data, I guess, and then just like sort of build reads off of that, like I was saying with like the character matchup and then like the player matchup, and then like after that, if like you realize they don't do anything, just like fucking like Crocs or whatever, just like know only how to jump backdash or whatever, and that like kind of goes with like more like advanced like intermediate like option selects like guard jump, that kind of stuff too. But yeah,
Yeah, that's always something I found interesting about Makoto specifically, because you go back and watch like FFA videos, for example, from like 2007. You're watching Makoto in a world that doesn't have any of these options. Like, there's no such thing as guard jump in America in 2007, right?
yeah,
Um, Now you've only played in an era where a lot of the better players just have that as part of their defensive options. Yeah, so you've had to account for guard jump as basically as soon as you knew that it existed, right? And that's a difficulty in playing Makoto. You're kind of having to play. It's not just like rock paper scissors, right? It's like rock paper scissors and like rock scissor, right? And okay, I got to pick this other option that beats this one and go and ties with this one or something. The option space expands kind of rapidly. I don't know. I feel like Makoto is a difficult character to be consistent with, especially as defense is developed in this game. I guess that's what I'm saying.
um I would say like to an extent, like I think like it's like especially harder against like shorter characters to like account for guard jump in the sense where it's like your stand fierce will like whiff above their head, and also like stand strong is also like kind of slow, but like it is hit confirmable. But I don't know, I think like it's one of those things where it's just like definitely like have to be conscious of like the game state, I guess, and like in terms of like doing your post high time mix ups where it's like you can't like if you're like low health and it's like you're low health, there's like a big life deficit and like they have enough like meter to where it's like they're gonna kill you if they punish you on block. You probably shouldn't go for like a low short like Chesto and like that sort of situation. And it's just like, Yuki would always say this one thing where just like building your Rolodex of mix-ups is like very, very good just because like it's like one thing to keep the mental stack like, on point where it's like they're constantly thinking of like a lot of different options that you could do and like being scared of like those options to where it's like you can like land in Karaksa. And I think like just like starting off with like something where it's just like, okay, I'm just gonna start with the option that sort of beats most of the things this person's gonna do and the things that it doesn't like and if like it's going to get beat it's not going to be like it's like I took a throw or something like that or it's like it's just like a big whoop, it's like not like too bad I guess when you like take that like sort of like when you guess wrong in that like that sort of situation I guess. But I think like just like building that foundation off of that is like a big part of like staying consistent with her at least. But yeah, and I think when you get to a point where like you're good enough to where it's like or it's like you have that like sort of basic game plan. You can like kind of like react to like a lot of different like you have that basic game plan. You like know how to play like each character like pretty well to the point where it's just like all these like sort of like shitter players like can't really beat you, and you're getting to a point where it's like you're consistently just like running into like the really really good players and like have like studied their habits and like just like taking the time to like study their habits and that kind of stuff. Like I think there's like there's a good like she's like she can be pretty consistent. But yeah, I like you were saying, like I think she is like hard to be consistent with, like to be consistent with more so than like in my opinion, like of course like Chun Ken Yun, and like I would say like even like Dudley to a certain extent, because like I feel like it's like sort of like I think like the like short and like dart shot, it's like more of like a it's more very like sort of standard like 50-50 where it's like and like it takes like way more of your health I guess when like you do it pretty much. But and like I guess like Dudley's like also just like I don't know, I don't want to say like Makoto doesn't have like a lot of good damage, I guess, where it's just like, but like Makoto definitely has to like do a lot more coin flips, I guess, to get like a lot of meaningful damage out. But like not to the point where it's like I feel like Yang, on the other hand, is like another similar character to Makoto in that sense, where it's like he has to win off of like a lot of like coin flips as well, but like he doesn't get like as much damage, and like also like his super is like not as big of a threat as like Seichu-sen or even Tosa is. So yeah.
Yeah, the damage output to me really kind of informs a lot of that guessing, right? Like, and I think maybe what you're kind of getting at, can let me know if I'm right, is like Dudley essentially throws a rose and it's like high low, and of course both play, you're mostly defensively guessing. Like, of course they can guess right, they can parry, and then maybe they can punish, you know. Uh, but Makoto, it's much more of a coin flip, and a lot of times, especially in some of the stronger characters, it's a coin flip kind of as ambiguous as to who's really favored, right? Like when I played Chun Li versus Makoto, I kind of just wanted to throw so many options at her. It's like, I might just come out better in the post Hayate mix-ups overall. Just from throwing different options and my damage output and so on. It becomes kind of difficult. Like sometimes post Hayate, the best thing for Makoto to do is just nothing, because doing anything could be dangerous.
Especially like yeah, like I was saying, like being conscious of the game state and that kind of stuff is just like a big thing. But like a lot of it's like sort of like do or die, I guess, like in that sort of scenario. But it's like one of those things where it's just like it's like it kind of comes with playing this like playing this character where it's just like if you guess wrong, like tough shit, buddy, I guess. But it just happens, it's like something you gotta accept, I guess. But you know it doesn't fret me too hard, I guess, like at this point of like playing this character so much. But you know. um,
Yeah. So why do you play
Um,
Makoto? You've been experimenting, especially since you moved to Michigan, with several different characters. It sounds like, but you've stuck with Makoto the whole time. What is it about her that appeals to you? Is it just degenerate gambling, or yeah, what's the deal?
I think degenerate gambling's like a big part of it, personally. Um, I think I don't know. I like her design a lot. I think like the sort of like fast grappler sort of characters like one character that kind of like it's like an archetype that I do like a lot in like a lot of games where there's like the character with like pretty like ignorant kind of buttons. Like another good thing about Makoto, like staying consistent, going back to that, is like her buttons are really fucking good. Like her like neutral buttons are really good, and like I think that's like a big part of like her being able to be consistent with hers, just like knowing how to use your buttons well. But yeah, I think just like having like good ignorant buttons and also like that sort of that dash is like really I don't know, that was like one thing that really did appeal to me like when I was like first starting out. And like I don't know, I just like the like this sort of like ignorant sort of like kind of like cave your skull and kind of like play style like that Makoto like kind of like affords to me that like I really like I really like about her. We're just like I'm just like throwing like mix ups and like I think with like stuff like Chesto canceling, like all the whiff cancel stuff that you can do with like stand short and that kind of stuff like opens up a lot of like cool like sort of like I guess kind of like creative stuff that you can do on like mix ups and that kind of stuff as well. I high take cancel like a lot, maybe a little too much to be honest. Um, but yeah, I think that's like what's one thing that like kind of stuck with me like with Makoto and just like also just like putting out like I don't know, she's like a fun character and just like hitting someone with a perfect on like five right guesses is just like something that like makes me feel very joyous. It's like it's a high like no other. I'll just say that, you know. Um, yeah.
There
But
was one.
also,
There
oh
was one
sorry, yeah.
session you told me where you picked Makoto because you like feet and being choked. Is that
Yeah,
correct?
yeah. That's also another thing I guess too that I liked about it. But yeah, I mean like I think that's like the big crux. That's like the big sort of like reason why I like her a lot. It's just like sort of like I don't know, like just like it definitely sort of I don't know. It definitely like sort of amplifies like the sort of ignorant play style that I kind of want to play as like play with I guess with her. But yeah.
What's your second favorite character and why?
Uh, yeah, I don't know. I go through phases between Ken and Yun. Like I'm kind of torn between them. I think like I said many times before that like my end goal with this game, I guess, is like to be like pretty good, like be good, of course, you know. But other than that, it's just like to be like what I like to call like a boss main, where it's just like I play Makoto, Ken, and Yun at like sort of like all the same level. Um, because like boss is like probably my favorite player. I would say like by far. Like in terms of, like just like I don't know. I think like he's the Makoto that I've like taken the most from, like him and like Mimura, I would say, and like also Niaban. But Boss is like I don't know, like I like the way like how consistent like he kind of plays and just like he's the working man's sort of top player, I guess, where it's just like you watch his Yun and it's just like you're like, yeah, this guy can't do well, I mean he can do Daipon now, but like you're just like thinking to yourself like this guy can't do Daipon. He's chopped just like me, you know, but like it's just like, you know, he's just fucking he's just running it down with like all these characters and like doing it to like a pretty like just playing like fun. He's just playing the game really well. But I think like right now just like I'm like sort of like in a Ken sort of phase where it's just like I'm really fucking with Ken. I kind of like that I can kind of play like this sort of like Makoto style where I'm just like pressing buttons on like somebody and just like looking out for like a stand strong or like crouch strong like sort of confirm and just like weaving that into like stagger pressure sort of scenarios as well. And like I think I don't know, you just like Ken is just like in my opinion just like kind of represents Third Strike where it's just like he's like one of my favorite characters because of that. Or it's just like he like to be good with Ken you just have to be good like at the game, you know. And also he's just like I don't know, he's just like such a blank canvas of a character. That's just like a big thing why is like that's why I like him a lot. Like you can kind of really play him in like a lot of different styles and like you can still be good with him, you know. Like our top three Kens of like Yi, like Neiman and like Frankie, they all play like pretty differently, I would say, from each other, but like I would say they're all like pretty on par with each other. I don't know if like I'm gonna catch heat from that heat for that from like any three of them. But but yeah, I
Oh
think
shit,
like
Max.
yeah,
Thou
yeah,
shalt not
I'm
opine.
not trying to start but I'm not trying to start shit between. But like, I think like I don't know. I'd see all three of them as like being very fucking good, you know, and like three of the best, like three of like top three Kens like in America at least. Um, but like they're like easily top 3 Kens in American. Like they all play like pretty differently. Where it's like Neiman is just like this very sort of like turtly kind of like just like sit back like Ken like just like makes you like come to him like sort of deal. And like Frankie and like if he's like kind of like this more like reads heavy like kind of like solid like also like plays like pretty defensively overall. And like Frankie's just like this like super just like clean player, just really good reactions, just like a very solid player, just like really good reactions, execution, all that kind of stuff. And like I like watching all 3 of them play a lot, you know. But Yun is close third favorite character, or like sometimes like I like him more than Ken. But it's just like one of those things where it's just like he's like one of those characters like where it's just like you can spend like endless hours in training mode with, and never be like 100% perfect with him. Um, and like I really like that about him, and I feel like in a weird sense, like like a lot of people give Yun flack for like not really like playing the game or whatever, just because like Canadian is like a super is like kind of dumb. But I think I don't know. I think like Yun just like he's just like he's just fun, you know. I like he's like fun to lab in training mode, fun to play, like just like taking this like if you just like land this one stray hit, like just like using that part of the brain, using that part of your brain to where it's just like, oh, like what can I do after I get this stray hit, and like just like building off from that, and just like going into like sort of sandbox mode with like the combos, I guess. While like in the midst of just like playing the game, I guess, which I really like about Yun. Just like it just reminds me of like like playing Marvel or like Guilty Gear, like Dragon Ball, like in that sense, you know. But yeah, that's like why I like him. But also, you're playing Third Strike at the same time, which is even better than playing like those games. But
Okay. And
yeah,
sorry, this is a little off topic. I just realized we had slow mode on the whole time in the chat. That's our bad.
yeah,
I just disabled it.
Yeah, we're all a
yeah,
little slow, bro. It's no big deal.
Yeah, a
yeah.
little slow. So that's my bad, I guess. Well, it's not my
Yeah.
bad. I didn't do it. I don't know whose fault it is. It wasn't me. Okay. Anyway, what is the future of Third Strike look for you? What do you see in the next year, the next few years? What are your goals? You have anywhere you want to move or play, or what does it look like?
Back to Dallas, but I think my first goal is to get life shit together, just get a nice job towards like I don't have to worry about bills too much. I can just get the game like so like I think that's just like my main priority. So I can move to Dallas and like play with you guys more, you know. Um and I don't know what the next year or two holds. The world works in very mysterious ways. Um as someone that has read books on Taoism like here and there, but it's just like we'll see. That's like how I kind of see it. Like I just want to keep playing the game more, traveling more. Eventually, go to Japan like sometime. Eventually, go to Europe sometime, like in France or like TSB or like even like the UK scene or whatever like shit they got going over in the UK. Um, just like definitely go to like just like those two like countries the most, I guess. Those are like the two places like I definitely want to go to the most. Like definitely eventually want to go to SoCal or New York City. Because like I've never been to those places with the sole purpose of playing Third Strike. So those are just like two places I've never been. Like definitely want to visit Don's and like definitely want to visit Don's, for sure. Definitely want to visit like like see if I get invited to Boiler Room. I don't know like how that whole situation works. Um and also just like of course just like go to Brooklyn Video Games, like for sure. Like and then also maybe like visit NC and like definitely want to go to Next Level, in New York just because of, like how much legacy there is there. I don't know how poppin' Third Strike is at Next Level, but it's just like one of those things where it's like, yeah, I just want to go just because like watching like NLBC when I was in high school and that kind of stuff was like a big part of me just like getting into fighting games at least. But yeah,
Okay.
Coming to the open.
of course, dude.
Okay, there we go.
I'm teaming with Sunny and Cho. Our team name is to be determined. I have a lot of good names on the docket, but I think active shooter warning's gonna be just like my biggest it's my biggest candidate for team name. But yeah, there's yeah. Um
I love having to announce Max's team names like last year in the Open was fucking cracking me up so hard last year, dude. Oh my
yeah,
god.
yeah. I remember it because like we had like a team tournament in Detroit, and like one of my friends, my buddy Sam, shouts at the Sam. Well, got me quiet or whatever. But he wanted the name. His team name was like Violent Hostage Situation. I was like, that's a really good team name. I was like thinking to myself, like that's a good one. So it's like active shooter warning is like a good thing in like his name, and like in that like the vein of that. Like it's funny because like I think like he was like telling me like when he plays Roblox, like the name that he goes under when he plays Roblox is just like Luggage Bomb, and I'm like, oh, that's another good one.
Luggage Bomb is a pretty sick ass name, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
But
I
okay.
have one more. I have one more question before we go to the quick question.
yeah.
So you kind of mentioned. So you've been a world traveler, and you have, you haven't like, you went to Toronto only once, so maybe you can't give a full picture. But I'm kind of curious, just to compare the vibes of some of the scenes you've kind of participated in. So I'm thinking Dallas, Chicago, Michigan, Toronto, like compare and contrast. Not so much skill level, just like, like the players there, how they're like, or the vibes there. Like, how would you compare them, or is there any differences?
The Chicago scene is actually like very similar to the Dallas scene in the sense where it's like all those guys kind of feel like this big family, where it's like they remind us of like our scene where it's just like we're just kind of like we're like a family in the sense where it's like we just like hang out with each other a lot like outside of the game. It's the same with the Chicago scene as well. It's like pretty sick because like I feel like the Chicago scene like they also like listen and like grew up on like a lot of the same music that I did and like a lot of the same movies that I did as well. And that's like a big part of like why I like that scene. The Detroit scene's like somewhat similar. It's just like there's like people that come and go, here and there. It's just like everyone's got real lives. Like they're like like a lot of people there aren't as like serious in the game, and like a lot of people have become like new parents as well. So it's like that's like a hard part for them to like come out pretty consistently. But like Detroit scene's great. It's like a pretty young scene as well. It's like it just started out amongst just like a lot of like people that were just like like also like younger people as well, like around people around my age that just like wanted to like start shit up and like just like this. So like we contacted Dave who runs a Psychic Drive, which is like a traveling arcade that like posts up like their arcade like their cabs at like events and that kind of stuff. And he just like left his like he was like, I'm gonna store my cabs in the bar, you guys can just like turn them on, just like play them whenever. And so that's just like how the Detroit scene started, I guess, in a way. But I'm not like fully like aware of like all the details, but like yeah, all those guys are great. They're pretty young scene. Like there's like some people that like are like on the come up, getting better. It's like the stuff that you really want to see, out of like a typically like younger scene in terms of like experience. The Toronto scene was like also it was like a weird mix of like, it's like it kind of felt like what I would assume the New York scene would be, where it's just like it was a good mix of like really sort of young, green new players, like there's like people like Joyous and like Orgasm who are just like a little like mid to early 20s or like late teens or whatever, like pretty like younger people that come from other fighting games, whether it be like Six or like Guilty Gear, but also like a good mix of like really like old heads, you like Act like Aneurysm X, Samir, Queech, and like all those guys, like dudes that are like in their 40s and that kind of stuff. um yeah, it's like those are like, I guess like those are like the two three main scenes that like I've like visited, I guess, in a way. But you know, it's they're all pretty great. It's like the Third Strike community is just all in all is like pretty awesome in general. So yeah,
Awesome. Okay.
yeah.
Do we want to do the head on to the wrap up questions and the chat questions? Ray, do you want to take
Yeah.
those?
Yeah, I
I don't
can.
think there's any chat questions.
Yeah, there were.
Yeah,
Well,
not
they're
a
all
Well,
from
ton.
they're all from
not a
Cho.
lot, but yeah, they're all from
Yeah.
show.
Yeah, Cho just asked a
Okay.
lot of questions.
So Cho says you mentioned maybe to switch in Yun for some specific matchups. What matchups do you just hate playing as Makoto, and that you would even consider switching to Yun for?
I'm a lazy fuck, dude. Like I don't know. It's just like I would play Yun in matchups where it's just like I don't know, like where Yun's like pretty lopsided in. Like I wouldn't play Yun against like Ken or play the Yun mirror or like against like Chun or whatever. Like I would play Yun against like Oro and like Dudley. Or
Oh,
it's just like characters just like, ah, dude, I do not like these characters. I'm just gonna fucking just play this like play like a matchup that I feel like is pretty heavily favored in Yun. So it's just like I feel like those are the two big ones at least for me. But like then again, I feel like the combos against like those two characters are like pretty. They can be like a little inconsistent. You can't really like squeeze out that same damage output you can against like a character like Chun or like even Makoto in a sense.
Hmm.
Um. With Yun at least, but yeah. How about like those are like the two big ones I would say. But yeah.
Yeah, as a young player, I hate playing against those two fucking characters too. Like,
Yeah, but
I'm not switching to
it's
Makoto, but like I
yeah,
fucking hate
yeah,
those two
yeah, yeah,
characters too.
yeah. It's just like, okay, like when I have to like constantly be in your face, like, and I'm like at risk of like either getting like launched or like fucking like just like close like roundhouse from like Dudley. I don't know. It's just like I feel like for like with Yun, like you can kind of like play like fucking Tom and Jerry style, where it's just like you can make like Dudley just like chase after you, and just
Yeah.
like yeah, control the pace of the game that way comparatively to like I mean like you like kind of have to do that with Makoto, but like I feel like it's like a lot harder and it's like not as much in your favor when you do that. But yeah, that's like those are just
I
like the two
mean,
big matchups I would play Yun with.
Makoto is probably one of my worst characters, but I will say, like, when I try to play Makoto versus Deadly, I'm like, what the fuck, bro? I can't dash. Like, I'm not allowed to
Yeah,
dash at this character, like, at all, just because it's,
yeah,
these fucking mongrels out there just pressing stand around house,
yeah,
dude,
Yeah.
like,
yeah,
over and over and
yeah,
over. And then, oh, I got clipped into fucking,
yeah,
30%
yeah.
and a 50-50. So,
And it's
yeah,
like I feel like
but I
yeah,
think
like
this is
Makoto
me
also
hating Dudley, period. Like, fuck that character. So,
yeah, and also like you don't have like great like wake up options. I feel like with Makoto, where like at least you do have like stand short with Yun, and
mm,
like like the Ray classic, like the
up
EX
kicks,
up
yeah.
kicks on it. Yeah, EX up kick and wake up.
Fucker dart shot, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. But you know, uh, yeah, those are just like two matchups where it's like, yeah, I'd probably like I would like consider switching Yun against. But yeah,
You can play those matches
uh,
pretty clean as Yun for sure. Like you can
yeah,
Yeah,
play Yun in
yeah.
a way where Dudley just really has a hard time the entire time in neutral. Yeah, Makoto has to scramble in your face and flip up once you could die. Yeah, it makes sense.
yeah,
Yeah, Makoto has to interact at some point, whereas if you play Yun perfectly, Deadly
yeah,
gets nothing. So,
Makoto actually has a lot of matchups like
um,
that though. Like I think that's one. I don't know if it's a misconception or like how people conceive of the
no.
character, but I feel like people always think of Makoto as like like Hayate, dash in, like doing high activity, high APM. There's a lot of matchups where because of the zoning tools, you really just can't. Like you have to earn your way in,
Yeah,
or you just can't play that at all. Like versus Dudley, you never really get to dash in versus him. It's always a huge risk.
Mm. Yeah,
you
Maybe
you
have
gotta
to earn
knock
your
him down.
dashes.
Yeah,
That's yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
but
yeah,
even then,
yeah,
yeah, because like you're gonna be like, okay,
yeah,
I don't want to get hit by Dudley, stand around house, right? So what am I gonna do? Okay, I'm gonna go to Crouch Fierce, possibly. Okay, but they start
yeah.
down pairing and then hitting stand house. Now what? Well, I guess I can do like Crouch. I mean, Crouch Roundhouse is an option. There is stuff Makoto can do, but in general, the matchup is not get in Dudley's face and rush it down. It's kind of you don't really play the like what you can imagine Makoto would be when you picked up the character at the beginning of this journey is not how you play against Dudley, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's like it's the exact same with like Oro and like where it's like I know you keep saying that like especially against like Chun and Dudley you have to earn your dashes, where it's like you can't like keep dashing on them, but like for Chun like it's sort of like you are just like she sets the pace of the matchup, so it's like you're really just like sort of pressing onto her to like not give her a chance to breathe, where it's like Dudley you just like you have to make him come to you, where it's just like you're doing like crouch roundhouse and like all this kind of stuff and you're zoning him out. So it's like at least like Chun, where it's just like I can like play like the style that I want to play against him or her, but like Dudley, it's like I don't know. It's like one of those things where it's just yeah, it makes me bang my head against the wall sometime, but um, yeah. Uh, I feel like most people can say that about Dudley though, to be honest, but
I feel like I
yeah,
never really heard Dudley hate until the Dallas scene came up. Like everyone
I
in Dallas
fucking
hates
hate
Dudley.
Dudley, dude.
Yeah.
I hate Dudley,
yeah,
dude.
and no small part due to Alex and Cam, but
Yeah, some mongrels, dude.
yeah, 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 yeah.
Like,
But yeah, I don't know. I think you know what? If you play Dudley, like go ahead, dude. Just like live your life, I guess. But yeah,
if that's what you want to do with your life, whatever, dude. Throw it away. I don't care.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm not hating, but just a little bit, but
Yeah.
just write them out. But yeah,
All right. So next question here from Chosen 2. Any players you got your eyes on coming up? Maybe DFW and outside of DFW.
I mean, like I said before, like I feel like these people haven't really been coming up in the sense because like they've already been like very good,
Yeah.
but like, Ben, Al, and Jason, like those are the three big ones for me, at least. I guess like Detroit, like there's like a lot of young players that are improving. My buddy Angelo goes by Helm. He's coming to the Open too. Really fucking cool guy. Improving pretty quickly as well. I was gonna say Mateo as well, but like Mateo's already like kind of proven himself to be
Yeah,
very
this is
strong.
kind of his
Yeah,
breakout year, right? Like,
yeah,
I,
yeah,
I
yeah,
remember,
yeah,
I remember I met Mateo last year at the Open, and I think I played him second round, and I had no idea. You were just like, "Oh, this is my friend Mateo. He's a Necro of
yeah,
Canada," and I'm like, "All right, whatever, dude. Necro, let's get this over with." And I think
yeah,
like our set came down to like last game, last round. I'm like, "What the fuck? Why am I
yeah,
going last game, last round against this shit? I should be
yeah,
looking forward to like." I remember like thinking like, "What the fuck is happening right now? I'm just getting my ass kicked."
yeah.
So,
And I like
yeah.
taking all the credit for his progression, even though I only said like two things to him. But it's like the Lance Classic. But
Whoa, whoa,
um,
whoa.
I'm joking. I'm joking, but yeah, just getting coaching from like I don't know if it's just like him improving by himself, where it's like he has that gene from just like being very good at melee of just like getting good at games really quickly, or just like if he's like getting that like good coaching from like AQH and like Sugiyama's like sort of like documents, I guess, but and just like taking in footage, watching it really well. Like I don't know, he's like also just like in general like a very like athletic player. Like that just kind of comes from like playing melee at that high of a level where it's just like I don't know. I was like talking to him about like reactions where he's like, yeah, if I'm like really looking for something, I feel like I can react to it in like 9 frames, I would say. And he's like, I'm like, holy shit, dude, like that's kind
Yeah,
of
I don't even
crazy.
know if
But
frames fucked up.
yeah, 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 that's like like the thing where like Dudley's like dart shots like 12 or like 14 or I don't know, but like it's like that's like unreactable for me, But
Um,
yeah, it's uh like Mateo's like yeah, he's very good. Like I'm like it's very sick to see like how much better he's gotten within this past year, Um like like this like jazzy run that he did was like it was fucking insane, dude. Like it was
yeah,
just like he beat like Dagger and like Dagger Phil. I forget like who else, but like it was like insanely impressive run. I think like Kodama or something like that too.
yeah.
Like just like very very strong showing out in yeah, a very very strong showing
There's
out in
Frosty run this year too, like right,
oh
like
yeah,
Frosty
yeah,
Junior.
yeah.
Yeah,
He beat Tom, I'm pretty sure.
yeah,
Tom was like the big win where I was like, oh shit, Tom, he beat Josh, like Nipperman. Just like very very strong run like with Necro of all characters,
yeah. I
dude. Like I
know,
remember
right?
like
Like,
I remember Yuki was saying something to me about Caesar where he was like, "Yeah, dude, like Caesar's fucking
that,
crazy, dude. That guy travels to play
some play.
Hugo."
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah,
And I'm like, and like he's like, I can never do that, but like he travels to play Hugo and gets results. And
yeah,
like I don't know, I got like I don't think Necro's as bad as Hugo, but like he's still pretty fucking bad in my opinion. But
yeah.
like this guy travels to play fucking Necro, dude. Like, and it's just like I can fucking do that, dude. But he travels to play Necro and gets results, like good, really good fucking results, Um, but yeah, I think like also like some of the younger dudes like in Chicago that like are like doing good. I think like Astro or like Orochi Tom Cruise, like whatever like names he goes under on Fightcade, he's really improving really well. And I think he's like in the midst of like having a lot of growing pains in the sense where he's like I don't think he's like getting the results that like he wants to, but he recently top aided Combo Breaker recently, and I think he's like on a good track to like being good as well as like yeah, I think like a lot of the younger dudes in Chicago that are like coming up are like I got my eyes on them, and of course like Joyous, that's like a big one.
Yeah.
Um Also someone that's like going through a lot of growing pains, but I could see him doing very, very well at like recent tournaments if he just like, he's inexperienced in tournament in the sense where it's like he's like definitely gonna get a little shaky more
Yeah.
than usual, I guess, in tournament. But yeah, like I think like seeing like how he progresses would be really like it's gonna be really fucking cool, dude. Like so, yeah.
Yeah, Necro's tricky
Uh,
because
uh,
Necro is bad, but also no one in America really knows how to fight against Necro. So
Yeah.
if you got these small
Yeah.
groups of people who are actually like pushing, it sounds like there's at least one Necro Discord or maybe two. Anyway,
Yeah.
yeah, and they're pushing that character. It's that's always the trade off when you play a mid or low tier. Is that yes, this character is bad at the peak possible level, but also, you know, you have the opportunity to know way more about this matchup than the other person is. Because I guarantee you,
Yeah.
very few Chuns, Yuns, and Kens are deeply labbing the Necro matchup, right? Like, it's a matchup they run into once a year, maybe, and so they just kind of hope that their character strengths will just carry
Or
them.
if you like live in like New York or like Arizona or whatever, or like playing in or like Indianapolis or whatever. But
Yeah,
it's
Yeah, we
like
got some Necros. I mean, we have like what
yeah,
Rico, Mutant, Bling, Ryan,
yeah,
now Mateo.
yeah,
But
yeah.
it's
The
yeah,
also
opportunity is
like,
there for
yeah,
sure.
I know Ken's set play if he got knocked down, like this is his options or whatever. I know Chun set play, but like I
yeah,
don't fucking know post Snake set play. I don't give a
yeah,
shit. Like
yeah,
and whatever. Like I'm not gonna see one of you guys at a tournament,
yeah,
but yeah, I keep losing,
yeah,
so that's my fault. So maybe I should
yeah,
go lab some fucking Necro stuff. So
yeah. Um, but yeah, also I forgot to say another player I've been like seeing come up that's like been doing pretty well is Diver. That's like another player which is like okay,
yeah.
like he's like putting out good results recently and played him on FightCade here and there and like showing like showing good promise. Like a very very solid young player. I mean, but yeah.
Yeah, he's been living over there in Japan for a little bit. Like I think he like worked remote for a few months and just
Yeah, I think he
like
moved back recently
yeah,
because he
he's back
played in
now,
like
yeah.
yeah, yeah,
But he definitely like yeah, that sounds like the sickest thing ever. Like, yeah, let's go work in Japan
yeah,
for a few months and just play
yeah.
fucking third strike every night. So
Yeah, just went
shouts to
to like the
Diver.
Koenji. Yeah, went to those like Koenji tournaments and that kind of stuff. Like
Yeah.
putting up
He's
good
coming to the
results
open
there.
too. He's coming.
Oh hell
So
yeah, dude. Yeah.
yeah, he's teaming with
Oh,
Poe and I can't remember who their third is, but like
probably some other dude from New
yeah,
York or something like that. But
yeah, it's definitely a strong team. So shouts to
yeah,
Diver.
Yeah, that's cool. I mean, if
All
you have that
right.
opportunity, that's really sick. I would do it
yeah,
myself if I didn't have the dogs. Like the lease
Yeah.
runs out. I work from home now. I could just go to Japan for 3 months. It's cheaper there, to be honest.
yeah,
Like if you are just
Done.
like I want to live for the next 3 months, it's honestly a lot cheaper to live in Japan than it is in America right now. So whole topic, but yep.
Yeah. All right. Any other questions for the chat before we move on to the
Uh,
rapid fire ones?
there was another one.
I missed one.
Trash Waifu asks, "What are all of you and Lance's secret alts? Wrong answers only."
Oh wait, all of you and Lance's secret ults. Okay,
But
I
you can
thought it was
only
just a Lance question, so I was gonna skip it.
you can
Yeah,
give you can. They said wrong answers only, so you can say whatever you want.
Max, you wanna out your alts here? I'll out my alts. I don't give a fuck. So
and like a lot of them are abandoned, but
Yeah, that's the
yeah,
same with
they
me.
call it they call me many things. They call me Xi Jinping.
yeah,
They call me
yeah,
John F. Ketamine. They call me
yeah.
Sandy Alex G Spot. They call me Chapo Fab House. They call me Adam Friedland Gaming. They call me Barry Zinden. But they call me Butt Sex Taro.
So you
Yeah,
got a lot more alts than I do.
These
Okay.
are all real, by the
yeah.
way.
It's
None of
just
these are
like I
fake.
do. Yeah, they call me Rock Lee Harvey Oswald.
Okay, no, I like
You
that one.
know,
Butt sex Taro is the
uh,
funniest one to me.
yeah,
I don't know
yeah,
why that
yeah.
makes me laugh so
It was
much.
it was like dude, FightCade bitched me, dude. I tried to make it anal sex Taro, but like they didn't let me do that. They didn't let me do that. Yeah, um, yeah. They call me the Silver Bullet. They call me Pineapple Man. They call me they call me Peanut Arbuckle. Yeah, but
Holy shit.
yeah,
All right. Well, fuck. We had a collection of max alts.
There you go.
yeah.
Yeah, I only got a couple actually. So I got Hoodrich as my chun. I got educated my horse, or educated horse is just
Educated
like a
my
fuck
horse.
off account. It's just a fuck off account. I got Grenzganger, which is my Alex account that I've been trying to level up, and it's fucking brutal. Like Alex sucks so much balls, dude. That character is useless. I don't know how anybody mains this character. Uh, I think that's about it actually that I play. I have some that I start and I'll play like 2 games. I'm like, yeah, fuck this. I don't want to play this character.
Yeah, I feel
Just
like you
like
have a lot
never
of
go back to it
character-based
ever.
alts that don't last very long. Like you are like,
Yeah,
oh,
I'll
this is my Alex
I'll play a
account.
character until I run into a shitty matchup and I'm like, fuck this, dude. I don't want to lose to no C rank Elena or something. Like, I'm not gonna do that. And what's frustrating too is when you try to make an alt account for a specific character and then you're down like 2 games and you're like, all right, I'm just gonna pick you on and dumpster this dude. Like, the fuck out of here with this. So, yeah, brutal.
Yeah, so you have no conviction in that character. You're like, all right, time to pack it up.
Yeah. All right, Lance, you gonna out any of your alts or no?
Nope.
You gonna
There's
keep them
like
to a
The,
secret?
the,
All
the,
right.
the list is too long.
I know, right?
The list is long. The
Lance
answers
wants
are
up that fucking giant receipt, like a
Yeah,
CVS
yeah.
receipt, dude, full
Yeah,
of
just
alts.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
They're mostly not interesting, and none of them are active. I just play on one account at the moment.
Yeah.
Oh my god, this guy.
I have some funny ones.
All right.
Body positive Urian. That was my best. That's the funniest I can be. So if you didn't laugh at that, you'll never laugh at anything I ever said. Body positive
Yeah,
Urian.
I will say I know a lot of Lance's alts. They are fucking terrible names. So chances are, if you're playing someone with like a fucking terrible name, it's Lance. I'm just throwing that out
Like
there.
B rank or something like B or A rank, it's like Lance. But if you play a name that's very funny, it's at B rank. It's probably gonna be me. Yeah. Yeah.
All right, so we'll move on to the rapid fire questions here. Top 5 favorite games all time
Is that a third strike?
outside of Third Strike. Third Strike, I mean, everybody should be just number 1 for 3S. Like, we know you love 3S. You're on a fucking podcast. So, like, what's the other 5?
I'm gonna group these two games as one, but Persona 3 and 4, that's like I would say top one. Killer 7 is like probably my second favorite
That's a
game.
sick one. Yeah.
Bayonetta
Deep cut,
1.
too.
Yeah, Bayonetta 1 is like one of my favorites. Uh fucking Resident Evil 4 and like probably Metal Gear Solid 2. Like those are like probably my top 5. But
Metal
yeah.
Gear Solid 2, really? Over 1 and 3?
Yeah, yeah. I
Why?
played
Are you
it.
a Raiden fanboy, dude?
Nah, nah. I was like 20 years old when I first played that game, and I smoked a lot of weed when I
Uh-huh.
first played that game. And also, like, I think like a lot of the commentary, I guess, with like information, that kind of stuff, like it was very relevant for when I played that game for the first time, and I was like, holy shit, dude! Like, just very high max. Was very impressed with like how much it predicted the current day, I guess. But yeah, in a very sad way. But it's it's a favorite. It's a personal favorite of mine for that reason, I guess. But I like those first three. Like I think 1, 2, and 3. Like you can like just like switch them up, and like those are like one of my like some of my favorite games of all time. Yeah.
Okay. All right. I'll do 2 on this one. Your top 5 favorite movies and the top 5 movies that Cho needs to watch immediately.
Top 5 favorite movies is like Fallen Angels, Mulholland Drive, Love Exposure, La N, and The City of God. Those are like my top 5 favorite movies.
Have you seen
I think
any of
I've
those?
Mulholland
never
Drive.
seen a single one
Neither
of
me,
those
me
fucking
neither.
movies.
I
I'm
think
not gonna lie.
I think Mulholland Drive was the only one that was made in the States amongst those 5. I really like movies. I don't know if like Miguel's in chat, but like he asks like what your big hobbies are, but like watching movies is like one of my big ones, I guess. But because like I went to, like I took a lot of film classes like when I was in college, and like I think that just like spawned like a love for like that kind of stuff. But like movies that Cho needs to watch, like number one, like I feel like everyone like my age like just like loves this movie, but like super bad. That's like the number
Classic.
one that
Yeah.
that like Cho needs to watch, where it's just like that is like oh my god, like super bad, just like
It's arcade
that,
culture, dude. It's
yeah,
literally just
yeah.
arcade culture.
Yeah. It's just like that's just like I don't know. It's just there's so much good lines in it, and just like it's not like Step Brothers where it's like they're funnier. Like when they like say them in the movie, they're delivered like so fucking funnily. Like I don't know. I think it's good. Um, dude, like I hate to go with this one, but Borat, that's like another one where it's just like I feel like Joe needs to see that. Like I don't know, I feel like Borat was like such a cultural like touchstone when I was like younger too, where it's just like everyone's doing the voice and that kind of stuff. But Joe's never seen Star Wars, so it's like I got to put that one on that.
I
And
mean,
like
yeah, like you have to, I guess. Like,
yeah,
it's
yeah,
just like, fuck. How have you not drinking water before, dude? Like, how have you
yeah,
not seen
yeah.
this shit?
Also, are we gonna do the thing where it's like you know how like your like top 5 favorite games of all time, and you like you can't take out third strike. I can't do the Matrix for like top 5, or I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you could take that one out. We already know.
Yeah, because like he's never seen it, but like like of course you gotta see the Matrix. But I think like yeah, most of the ones I have are like comedies. Like Friday's like another one where it's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
yeah
I saw that shit when
yeah
I was like 8 years old, dude. Like, I don't understand how he's
yeah
not seen it yet.
yeah yeah. Like I feel like Friday is just like that's like a really big one that like shows need to see. Like I just like another like cultural like touchstone as well. But fuck.
Yeah,
What's the fifth
yes,
one?
that's like I love how you went full art house for your top five, but show it's just fucking slop classics, dude.
Yeah, it's like I don't know, dude. Like, even though it's like slop, I feel like those were movies that were very important to me. Like
They're
when I was his
classics.
age,
They're
when I was like
classics.
very younger, when I was like much younger, you know.
Um,
Um, but the last movie he's got to see is um uh the I was gonna say like the Cannibal Holocaust is a joke, but
I know what you're talking about.
it's
Yeah,
it's like the last movie. But I think like the last movie like that he's got to see, like he hasn't seen Forrest Gump, right? I feel like that's like one that like you got to see too. But or like dude, fucking there's like too much like Jurassic
yeah.
Park,
Jurassic Park,
like
dude.
everything,
Like
anything
any
Spiel.
movie ever,
Yeah,
dude.
yeah,
Like you could literally
yeah. Like
just make a giant fucking bingo board and
yeah,
just like
I
pick
feel
a
like
number.
I feel like any like Spielberg, Scorsese, or even like Paul Thomas Anderson or like fucking like Tarantino, even like you just like you can just be like just watch like any of those movies that they've
Yeah,
made,
any
you
Guy
know?
Ritchie, anything. Yeah,
Yeah,
nothing.
yeah,
You
yeah,
see
yeah,
nothing, dude.
yeah,
Maybe
yeah,
that should be the requirement that I have for my
yeah,
house. It's just like, all right, you got to watch one
yeah,
movie before you can play on the cab. Like, I expect a book
yeah,
report
Book
on
report.
yeah,
fucking.
yeah. But it's like if I were to choose like one for like if you watch Goodfellas by from like Scorsese, watch
Mm,
fucking Kill Bill or like Pulp Fiction from like Tarantino, watch fucking There Will Be Blood or like Magnolia from like Paul Thomas Anderson. Watch any Kubrick. Any Kubrick's awesome.
mm.
And like watch fucking like any like I watch like I'm thinking and like yeah, that's it pretty much. Watch like Jurassic Park by Spielberg or like anything like that. But you know, yeah,
I feel like there's like
Nope,
layers
he's gonna
to
get
movie buffs. You know, like there's like people who have not
yeah,
seen shit, and that's show. And there's people who
yeah,
watch like
uh,
like the Marvel movies only or something. Maybe that's a layer.
yeah,
And there's like people who are
yeah,
like who got to the layer of like baby's first art film. You know, that's pretty much me. Like I've
yeah,
seen like like Donnie Darko or something like that.
yeah,
But still, I
yeah.
have no idea what the fuck you're
well,
talking about when you said those five art house films. And then there's like the
well,
true.
I
Oh, okay.
remember City of God. I worked at Blockbuster, and like that was
Yeah.
like a constant like rent. Like for that's how fucking
Oh,
old I
yeah.
am. I worked at
It's
Blockbuster, like, but that movie
yeah.
would stay out all the time, and people would come and ask for it all the time. I just never
Oh,
watched it
dude,
because I was like,
it's super good. It's just
um,
like it's Brazil in the fucking hood. You know, that's just like
um,
it's good. You know, it's
um,
Brazil in the hood. Yeah,
Yeah.
oh, No Country for Old Men.
Yeah, I've
It's a
seen
good
No
one
Country
too.
for Old Men. I've
yeah.
seen
Oh
some
yeah,
shit
like
like that.
Watch any
Yeah,
Cohen
yeah,
brothers.
Coen
Like
Brothers movies. Yeah.
watch like Fargo. Watch The Big Lebowski. You know, like watch any of those. You know. Yeah,
Uh,
yeah,
oh my god. Fuck you, Cho. Watch a
But
movie.
yeah,
Jesus
yeah,
Christ. Yeah.
yeah,
we'll eventually get Show to Max's level like in 30 years, I'll let
yeah,
him drive.
yeah.
All right. Top five favorite bands,
Or musicians,
Dude,
yeah, like
musicians,
musicians.
whatever.
or bands.
My Bloody Valentine, number one. That's like easily number one. Cause like I
Okay.
played in a shoegaze band like in like college for like a little bit. It's like kind of dumb, but it's like mostly covers, but like wrote some original stuff, would just jam out. But that's like one of my favorite bands of all time. Tribe Called Quest, like number two, like
Okay.
easy number two. Like I feel like the like My Bloody Valentine and Tribe, like they like switch interchangeably. Converge, number three. Shout out to Mr. Part Two. That's like his favorite band, I think. Like just like wears a lot of like stuff like referring to like Converge and that kind of stuff. Uh shit. Four and five is hard. There's like too much stuff that I like. Uh uh, uh this more recent one, but DJ Rashad is up there. Um like Chicago Juke Footwork, like just been listening to him a lot. And I guess like another more recent one, like 3 6 Mafia, just like the rest of like Hypnotized Minds, I guess. But yeah, yeah,
Cool.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
I want to hear. I
Alright.
want to hear Ray's
Yeah.
5 favorite movies and musicians as well now.
What
Yeah, I want to
my
hear both of you guys. Yeah.
top
I know
five favorite
Lance just
movies of all
radio.
time? 1990s Ninja Turtles is my favorite movie of all time. Like I just watched it in theaters like 2 weeks ago. It's fucking incredible. Holds up. Took my wife and her friends, and they were just like, "What the fuck is this?" And I was like, "This is the best movie ever. Like it's comfort food, dude." I think second one, Training Day. Training Day is like one of my favorite movies of all time ever. So quotable. You can watch it 100 times. Like, yeah, Training Day. Fuck Reservoir Dogs. I really love. Like I love Reservoir Dogs a lot. Half Baked. I think it's
Oh
like
hell yeah, dude.
the one of the best like stoner comedies ever made, and still holds up.
Dave and also Dave, you know.
Yeah, yeah, peak Dave for sure.
Yeah,
And then
yeah.
fuck five, dude. Oh man, I don't know. There's so many like ones that are in there that I just love. Like Jurassic Park is one. Like same thing, comfort food. I'll watch that movie 100 million times. Um, a football movie called The Program. I'm not sure if you guys ever heard about that, but it's like about college football. I loved it when I was a little kid because I just like obsessed with football when I was like a fucking 10-year-old. And yeah, I don't know. I think it's probably my top five. Yeah, pretty standard movies. Pretty boilerplate. Bands though, I don't even know, dude. My music taste is a little wacky, I guess. Uh, Slayer, I guess I fucking love
Oh
Slayer.
yeah.
Like, grew up listening to Slayer. Um, Garth Brooks, I fucking love Garth, dude. Like, this is some country shit.
Sure.
The Misfits, obviously, it's just skater punk nonsense. Um, Nightwish, I fucking love. I don't know if anybody knows about that shit, but like, you guys know what Nightwish is or no?
No.
It's like cheesy fucking opera power metal, like from like early 2000s, late 90s. Like it was in so many Third Strike combo videos. Like I'll link some shit. There's like RX did one to it. But I love Nightwish, dude. It's so terrible, but it's like imagine like you go to like a fucking like D&D meetup and everyone's just like neck beards and just not showered and shit. Like what music would they listen to? It would be Nightwish, like 100%. Like oh, they got that, and then like five, probably like some rap, like I don't know, like UGK or 36 Mafia, either one of those. Like I grew up listening to those. I love it. Yeah, that's fine. I'll take that. I'll take that.
Yeah.
I will say
Um,
like yeah, it's I was expecting you to say Bad Religion just because like I'm like oh
I love
yeah
Bad
like that's
Religion
like
too, but like,
Ray's like I don't know, you can take this as an insult or a compliment, but
yeah,
like you look like a Bad Religion fan,
yeah, yeah,
but
yeah, of course, dude. Yeah, I
yeah,
know, I know. Like, I'll
yeah,
go to a Bad Religion show, and it's just like, yeah, these are my people, dude. Just fucking
yeah,
aging punkers who are just like, I gotta go to work
yeah,
in the morning. So,
yeah. But speaking of like punk, like I'm like I think it's very funny. I didn't like list Jeff Rosenstock in like my top five, like, but
yeah,
yeah, but
bond the music
it is what it.
industry.
Yeah, about
Yeah,
the music industry, arrogant sons of bitches or whatever. But yeah. But yeah, Lance, it's time for you. You're on the chopping block. Let's hear about how Amnesiac is your favorite Radiohead album.
Oh yeah,
But
I had to actually like look at my list while I had to like avert my eyes. But what do I like again? When I realized you were gonna ask me as well. Yeah, I think my picks will date me to a very specific time period on both fronts. To be honest,
yeah,
like you're gonna be like, all right, I know what kind of person you were at this in 2012.
yeah,
and still are. Let's fucking be real
yeah.
here.
Yeah. Top five
None of us
movies.
have grown up, bro.
Yeah, top five movies. I know it's kind of corny at this, or for some people it's corny. I like Donnie Darko. I think it's a great movie. Lost in
Terrible.
Translation. I Heart Huckabees. I don't know if that was like popular or not, but it's very good. Better Off Dead. John Cusack from the 1980s. Great movie. And Kill Bill. I think would be my five for movies.
Including both one and two in
Yeah,
that,
one and
or
two is one movie. I think. Yeah. If I had to pick
okay,
one, one's
all
a little bit
right,
better than two,
okay.
but two has the Pi May
They're good for
scenes.
different reasons. Yeah, the Pai Mei scene is really fucking good. Also, like I like the scene where she's I mean like just like the sequence where she's like breaking out of the fucking
Yeah.
coffin. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, Better Off Dead. I'm for sure. If you haven't seen Better Off Dead, that would be the one above all the others that I would say everyone should watch that. It's very watchable. But yeah, Lost in Translation to me especially is like because of our relationship with Third Strike and what that means in terms of like, oh, I would like to go to Japan one day. I think that's just like a piece of. I feel like it's culturally relevant to Third Strike players. I'll just say it like that. Top five
Joe's
bands.
ass in that first frame, you know.
Yeah, that's the real reason to watch that. Yeah. Anyway,
Yeah.
I was showing because I thought it's like, oh, it's a great film, and I was showing one of my friends in college. I was like, oh, let's watch this, and we literally got to that ass, and she was like, no, I don't want to watch anymore. This is exploitative, and I was like, it's not the point of the movie. She's like, I don't want to watch anymore. Okay, all right,
Yeah.
and yeah, good movie.
Howard.
Top five bands, yeah, like if you're familiar with them, it just dates me to being a hipster in 2012. So, Radiohead, Beach House, Grizzly Bear, Fleet Foxes, Animal Collective. I feel like that's all like a very specific
Yeah.
genre, right?
Lance
Like,
is never getting the aux cord on any fucking road trips, dude. Like,
I don't know. I like. I mean, I do like Beach House and like Radiohead. I think Anko actually really fucking sucks, to be honest. But it was just like one of those things where it's like I remember there was like a tweet where it was just like someone like made like a comic where it's like millennials then versus millennials now, and just like one of the millennials is wearing an Animal Collective shirt, and they're like, yeah, this is like perfectly right because I don't think like anyone in Gen Z or Alpha like just listen to Animal Collective now. Like that's just like one band that just like has stuck with like millennials, like them and like LCD Sound System and that kind of stuff. Where it's just like, yeah, like there's just like those are like two millennial bands that just like have stuck with them like forever, and like I don't think like younger people really listen to them anymore. But yeah,
yeah, the other ones
yeah.
could kind of be like, I feel like I could show someone like a Zoomer like Beach House or Fleet Foxes, and be like, yeah, I get it. Like, it's gonna. Fleet Fox is very folksy. Like, I feel like they would like it, but Animal Collective is
Beach
very
House is
millennial.
very popular with Beach House is like popular with Zoomers. That was like one band that got like very much carried over to like the Zoomer. Like you'll see like so much like TikTok stuff with like songs from like Space Song like on it, like over it and that kind of stuff. So it's
Hmm.
like, that's just like a Zoomer band, I guess now. But
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah.
They're all from a specific. Like it was like, oh, you listen to that
Yeah.
kind of music 2010 to 2012. Like, yeah, that was
Yeah.
that was when your music taste was the final version of it was formed.
Yeah.
Okay. Um, Ideal cooperation cup team. It could either be what you think would be the best American team ever, or it could be your favorite co-op team. However you want to answer it.
I mean like yeah, I remember like Ray gave this answer too when like Bubbles asked them, but like I was just team with my homies. Like that was like that's like the big thing. Where it's like if I were to go over, I would team with my homies. Like probably like me, Ray, Sonny, Cho, and like Alan. Like would be like my primary choice. But like also like he's just like on and off with the game. So like Jason, like Alan and Jason, like in between like those two. But like definitely like five of those like six people. Or like five like four of those five people. Um, but like a team that like I would just want to see do really good. I don't know. It's just like one of those things where it's just like I feel like it's like an obvious team choice because it's just like summoning the Avengers, or it's just like I don't know. You like it's like Nika, Yuki, Frankie, and then like Frankie or Yi. Like I just want to like make sure there's like one of each character, Frankie or Yi, and then does Ryan? Are we counting Ryan or not?
Yeah,
Or I
yeah,
don't
he's
know.
American.
yeah, yeah, of
Okay,
course, yeah.
and then Ryan, and then like this is like my wild card for a fifth pick is like Tenren probably, but
Oh yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. This is like I don't know. It's like I feel like you do need like that weird sort of like mid tier, I guess like to where it's just like and like also like Tenren's like kind of like Tenren's like essentially world class with that character, like in my opinion at least, where it's just like I don't know. I remember like talking to Yuki about like because like I was talking to Chicago guys about like their trip to Evo Japan and like how like Neoban like he had like this really good run over there. Like he beat YSB and like Zabi Goki, but like I think his run ended at Higa, and then like it was like a 2-1, and like he sounded really like disappointed where he's like, oh, I don't know how to fight a Buki or whatever. But I was like talking to like Yuki about like his reaction to it, and Yuki's like, nah, dude, like Higa and Tenren are like the two like sort of anomalies, with that character, where it's like like they're really fucking both of those like guys are really fucking good, with that character. So it's just like I don't know. And like also like Tenren did like that like he was like the hard carry I guess for that one time like Los Vatos Locos like made it to that top 5. But
Yeah. He's a lot
yeah,
of work.
Yeah, and it's like you know, also like but also it like Kang, if he gave a shit, would be on that team. Like I feel like, but because like I don't know, I think I don't know, I feel like people like kind of underrate him in a way, but like I don't know, it's weird like to see this because like I feel like people do kind of underrate him or like overlook like Kang's skill with the game, but I do think Kang is like one of the best players like to ever do it in the States, like easily like top five like to ever do it in the States. Um, like I might just have a different perspective on it just because I'm a lot worse than the people that do sort of like kind of like overlook his skill or whatever. But yeah, I don't know. I think King's really fucking good. So yeah,
Yeah.
but yeah, I think, but yeah, like just like that core of like Yuki Nika, Frankie or Yi, Ryan. Like I feel like that's just like a very strong sort of like there's a really strong core and also like really fucking sick core because like I don't know, I like watching Yuki and I like watching Yuki and Frankie play, Yuki, Frankie, Nika. I like watching all three of them play a lot. Like Yi as well. Ryan's like just there for like that. Like Ryan's there for like that's like strong stability. I like to be frank. I haven't watched too much of Ryan playing, but just like have heard stories of like Ryan's just like really fucking good. So just like yeah, I think that would just be a sick team to have. But
Yeah, I mean that all makes sense. Yeah, Ryan, when he was playing a lot, especially when he moved back to America, like right after living in Japan. I mean, yeah, he certainly
yeah,
was like the most consistent tournament player in America. Yeah, we were talking about it like I forgot, like in a Discord call, weeks ago. Like looking at the runs that some of these guys had in the earlier, like Jazzy One or TFC 2017, and like all the bodies you had to beat to win the tournament. Actually, kind of insane. So yeah, you definitely got to give people who can do that their flowers because like if you look at Ryan's Jazzy One run and you just list out the players he beat, you're like, yeah, that's like the top five guys basically. So
Um,
yeah, he beat
yeah,
like
and it's like the same
Justin,
with like
Nika, Frankie, like yeah, it's insane.
yeah. It's like the same with like the Kang run as well as like in Jazzy 4. Like I know like it wasn't like as stacked, I guess, like at Jazzy 4 compared to like 1, 2, or 3. But like, Kang still put in a very good run, like beat Yuki, beat Niemann, like beat Frankie, like beat like all these really strong players too. So it's like yeah.
and he went through last chance qualifier that year, right? Too. He did the
Yeah,
bottom
yeah,
qual that
yeah.
year. So like,
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, had
and
to
like
beat
that's
Tommy
just
to
not
get out.
easy.
Yeah, I mean Tommy's
Yeah,
Yeah,
certainly when you have to play to beat Tommy to get out of pools, it's not easy for sure.
yeah.
And plus some of these pools, bro, it's just like
Yeah.
fuck, man. People are coming
Dude, I
for you.
remember
Like,
I remember
you
that
know,
Jazzy 4 was just like, dude, like I am in like I'm just a fish amongst a pool full of
yeah,
sharks. Like I don't know, it's just like it's like oh fuck, dude. Not only is like Frankie and like I remember like Shirati was like super fucking underseeded in like one of those pools and
yeah,
like he was just like the third seed or whatever. But like I was like, holy shit, like it's like Shirati, Luke, and like fucking like just like all like and like those two weren't even the top two guys in that pool. Like they didn't even make it out of that pool. And it's just like it's like Shirati and Luke. But that's just like how the way things go at Jazzy. But
Yep.
yeah.
Yeah. Sure.
I feel like it's hard to like amongst the American like top third strike scene, like you really have to earn kind of everyone's respect, right? Like for like everybody, like if you talk to any player and you're like, hey, where's Yuki at? Like, oh yeah, like top notch. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's kind of hard to get that respect. And like you
Yeah.
talk to pretty much everyone, and Ryan's like, yeah, Ryan's amazing. He's up there. He's upper echelon. Like definitely on that plateau with everyone else. So yeah, tough.
I think Ryan had the advantage
Also,
too of playing like a lot of characters pretty well.
Yeah,
yeah.
he got to bypass the carried by by your character
Yeah, like
Jin.
his Urian is supposedly very good. Like I've never played it or like seen footage of it, but it's like supposedly
let
like
blood run.
Let
Let
blood
blood
run, man.
yeah,
run. Yeah.
yeah,
Shouts to Ryan.
yeah,
That's my boy.
Yeah, Yuri
yeah.
and Ken, Yun,
It's like
Makoto. Yeah, he's good.
Hmm.
yeah, but yeah. Since it's your show, Lance, I would do an all white team. Of just
What's your
that makes
five
you
white
feel
boy co-ops? What do you?
Makoto, Mike,
Okay.
Lance, Makoto, bring him out of retirement, but Steel Hammer, dude.
Oh
Mm,
Steel Hammer's like the big one.
yeah.
Uh, Pyro doesn't count, right? But yeah, I guess
I've
Pyro
never
Lee
met
maybe.
Pyro, but he looks pretty fucking white, bro. Like he looks
Was
about as Mexican as I look Mexican, dude. Like
yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah. Um, You know what? Like, yeah, Steel, like that's like the core three. I feel like
Isn't
I
his
don't
name
know
like
how, like
Michael Fawson?
Yeah.
Like,
that's a white ass name,
that's
dude.
a
That's
white ass
cracker.
name, bro, dude.
That's like purebred cracker name right there. But
Getting the crunchy
yeah,
tacos for sure, dude, for sure.
yeah, yeah. But it's like I don't know. Speaking of, like I don't know. I feel like I'll do a Chinese American team because like that would be I think that would be a sick team to have. Like it's like Yi, Denges, Sherwin, I think, and like Tenren, dude. Like that would just be like a kick ass team too. But yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Personally. But like Lance, you would be on you'd be on my top 5 white boys
Thank you.
team
Yeah.
for co-op. I'll just say that. And since it's your show, I guess. But yeah. Yeah.
All right. One player to play for your life. So aliens come down. They're pretty
I know
fucking
this
good
whole
at their
shtick.
strike.
I know this whole shtick. And you know what? I've thought a lot about it. I'm saying Alex, dude. I'm saying La
Oh
You
Machina.
said the
no.
Machina?
I'm
Oh
saying La
no.
Machina to play these aliens, dude.
He's got the aliens just doing coke, dude.
That
Just
sounds
fucking.
concerning.
Yeah.
Holy shit. I mean, yeah. Fuck.
Yeah,
Dude, I
yeah.
don't know. I feel like Alex would just lose and be like, I don't know what the fuck, wait. Like, you wouldn't even show up for one. Like,
Yeah, he'll
Alex
be
wouldn't
2
even
hours
make
late.
it,
You'll
dude.
already be dead. He's like,
He
and
just
he's gonna
fucking
show up
shows
and be
up
like,
to
who's
the
next?
U.
Me?
Yeah, he shows up to the UFO like, I'm next, way, I'm next. Like, it's like, bro, they already enslaved the entire fucking human race, dude. Oh,
I don't care, dude. I just want the machine. Like, you know what? He's like he's our ambassador. He will like
yeah,
strike up a nice peace
yeah,
offering.
just true.
Yeah, with the aliens. Like if he wins or lose. So, he will.
Holy shit.
Yeah. But yeah.
Oh, speaking of that, this weekend we're gonna have Machina versus Bubbles, first to 10 on my
Oh
birthday.
hell yeah, dude.
I'll be
That's
streaming that. So
yeah. Bubbles like he beat Bubbles right at like a recent tournament or something
yeah,
like that.
recent tournament. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it should be
Just
fun.
like
If
yeah.
Alex shows up, I mean, who fucking knows, dude? So
Yeah, yeah. Like speaking of, like, I wonder what. 'Cause I remember he popped the fuck off one time when he beat you. There's like one time where he just like fucking just like got really excited and like he beat you in the tournament. Like that was like I got a big thing I remember, but yeah,
fucking Alex, dude. I swear to God.
yeah.
And, yeah, I think when I qualified for Jazzy, he played me for my spot in the first to 5 when I was fucking hammered drunk and I lost.
You lost
And he
that.
popped off pretty hard on that one. Like, you suck, Wade. Give me your plane ticket. Like, God damn it. Fucking Alex, though. All right. Well, that's going to conclude our questions. Any closing statements from Max? Anything you want to say? Get out there.
You're in the Midwest area. I don't know if you can make it, but Detroit Slam Dance. That's a tournament that we're having. It's a pretty big one. It's gonna be a week from this coming Saturday. So come out if you want to come out. We got Chicago in the building, Toronto up in here. It's gonna be pretty fucking awesome. Like, shouts out to Off World Arcade. Shouts out to ArtCade. Thank you so much for donating, whoever did. Like, your gratitude means a lot. And yeah, shouts out to ArtCade. Shouts out to Dallas Fort Worth. Go to the Third Strike Open. That's like a big one. I feel like it's overdone and said a bunch, and I am biased because like ArtCade is the place that I came up playing Third Strike in, and I have a lot of good memories about that place. But it's my favorite sort of national Third Strike tournament like in the country, pretty much. So yeah, come out to that, and shouts out to Ray and Lance for having me on, even though I'm probably one of the more least notable guests, I guess. But yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
All right.
No, you're not least
yeah,
notable at all. The least notable guest was. Just kidding. Um,
yeah.
yeah, no,
But yeah. I was the only Makoto player on this podcast so far, I
that
think,
is true.
right? Or I
That
don't
is
know.
true. You're
And
representative
no
for your
smart
Yeah,
part
yeah.
due to no
Lakota
smart
race.
part due to nepotism. Yeah, but yeah. But yeah.
Yeah.
All right,
Thank
guys.
you.
Well,
Yeah.
thank you guys for
Wait.
tuning in.
One
Appreciate it.
last thing, real quick. Just to go back to
Oh,
that slide. Just a reminder, if you're catching up at the end, we have finalized the schedule. The start duty will be updated with the information tonight. This should also, Ray, are we going to post this on Twitter tonight?
Yeah, I can post this on Twitter. Also, just a heads up, talked to Hiba Ryu. He gave me the okay to put out who the young player
Oh,
is that's going to be invited. So tune in. Let's say next week we'll get a guest on, do the announcement then. So you guys will figure out who the young is next week. So pay
excited.
attention to Twitter, follow us there, join the Third Strike Open Discord, and we'll see you boys in October. So
Yeah. Start putting together your
yeah.
region battle teams. So if you are in the
Um,
Midwest or one of these regions, you guys decide amongst yourselves who you want to be your team captain. Let us know. You can reach out to me or Ray, or you can just type it in the Third Strike Open Discord. That's fine too. But let us know
yeah.
before then, and we'll go ahead and proceed with that. So awesome.
All right. Well, thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you, Max, for joining us, and we'll see you guys on the next one. Appreciate you.
Bye.